All right, so we live. I mean a donut. Donut. A pivo. We live in these streets. Why do I keep having this sailboat shit as my picture? I don't know why I keep doing that. So I'm going on with the EDP thing because I'm late. But I was talking about it earlier with somebody, man. I was like, yo, man, okay, okay. I feel like I have to explain this shit very clearly. Yo, what's up, Xavier? Yo, EDP fucked up. he was trying to fuck young girls. He fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That he's fucked up and he fucked up. What's up, Sanjay? Hope I pronounced it. You hear about the news about Elizabeth Holmes? Well, I do 3 in a row. Yeah, I think she got. I heard she actually got caught. They actually. I'm impressed by America. Oh no, it was that. It wasn't in America. That Theranos shit. I can't remember exactly where it was. I'm saying, well, just in the world. I'm surprised that they actually convicted a decently attractive white woman on anything. I'm I'm impressed. I remember when I was saying that shit about what's the Johnny Depp's girlfriend? What was that bitch named Amber Heard? Yo, like that Amber Heard scenario told you everything you need to know, man. They had that bitch literally on 4K recording, fucking saying like, "Yeah, I hit you," blah blah blah, and the motherfucker still was like, Johnny was still losing jobs and all that shit, while Amber Heard's career was just flourishing. Like, I'm still like, and the fact that Johnny got any momentum in his direction, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Oh, she did? They fucked her up for real. Remember, EDP wanted to see your take on him. Yeah, man. So I ain't watched this whole video. It's like an hour long. And quite honestly, it ended up being just like trash trying to tear down trash in this. That's all the whole interview to me really looked like. They was just, you know, some trashy kids trying to make a name for themselves. And the funny part was the dudes who called him, they end up destroying their own career in the process. That's what was funny. Because after they fucked up EDP, motherfuckers started looking back into them and seeing that they was calling people, they was just off the charts. Like the dude, the exact dude who's going on EDP, he was on recording, I want to say in a live stream or some shit, where he's talking about giving dick to his 3-year-old cousin. like, yo, for real. And that's why, and that moment was when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a video, some type of video on this. That was off the chart. So he destroyed his own career while trying to destroy somebody else's. They off the chain with that. She's in prison. Yeah, I'm impressed. How long will she get? 20 minutes? She should be. Her sentence, her time should be up for being in prison. As a white English-speaking skinny woman who took a bath, she's spent about 35 more minutes. She'd be out in about 35 more minutes on good behavior. Oh, my girl, she cooking and shit. Yeah, America. She got pregnant right before so she can get out. Although she couldn't use him, she kicked him. Damn. KFC continue cock fucking carousel. Yeah. I ain't come up. I forget who. I didn't come up with that. I said CFC. Somebody I can't remember who it was, but they added the K in, which made a lot more sense. It made it a lot more catchy. The cock fucking carousel. I didn't come up with that. I can't even take credit for that. Oh, she got 20 years? For real? Did she get man 20 years or woman 20? Woman 20 years is she do about 128 minutes in prison, in jail, and then get to spend the rest of her time on house arrest. at home, and then but on good behavior, she get off house arrest in 6 months. That's that Brock Turner shit. I remember Brock Turner. That movie. He was from Ohio too. That shit was wild. Now Brock Turner legit was trying to rape a bitch, and they had to come pull him off, right? And pull him off and call the cops on him. Brock Turner was like legit trying to rape a bitch, like behind a drunk passed out bitch behind a dumpster, and he was like legit. Legitimately on her to the point where dudes had to come and pull him off. So that means he was like so into it, like he wasn't even trying to get off. That was wild. Brock Turner. And a $250,000 fine. Yeah, that ain't shit for what she was doing. A $250,000 fine. Motherfuckers got houses that cost more than that. That ain't shit for what she was doing. For real, without Elizabeth Holmes, bitch, you mean to tell me with the circle she was running in and what she was doing, you mean to tell me it wasn't one beta simp chump up in there who come by and pay that fine for her? There's not one? With the money that she was running around in, you mean to tell me there's not one beta simp chump who she done eyeballed a while back and would come around and pay for that shit? There's got to be at least one of them. LMAO, this guy in jail now. I don't know. I seen other people talking about he's in prison and all that shit. But I'm gonna talk about, okay, I'm not gonna try to like advocate for EDP. Like, well, maybe he didn't do it. No, like, he did that shit, dude. Like it was in the text messages and all. Then he admitted to the shit like on camera. Hey, you can't get out of that. So I'm not gonna try to act like he fucked up. But I'm gonna talk about the reality of the sexting shit. Because I've always personally I've always found it a little weird to do for motherfuckers who do sex things like that. Like I've always found it. Honestly, not telling my girls on the way back home. I find like that sexting operation shit like this, where they like go out and pretend to be some type of girl or whatever the fuck. Oh, my honest opinion is I've always felt. Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining to watch. It's like watching a car crash. That's just the reality of being human. It's entertaining to watch, somebody just lose everything type of shit, right? Like it's entertaining to watch somebody just lose everything they worked for in their life. Be gone in fucking 15 minutes because they were trying to get some pussy. Type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or just get some sexual attention from a little boy or a little girl. Like, it's entertaining to watch, right? But ultimately, like the way I see this shit is it's almost like that same cop-out thing like God Bless America. And Anchorman 2 touched on that. Not directly with Ron Burgundy's character, but with the people who was watching. So with the God Bless America thing and Anchorman 2, they were fucked up with ratings, right? They needed ratings. And they was trying to figure out how they can get ratings for their segment, in the news station schedule, right? So they made everything about America, like God Bless America, 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 and nobody else had done it. So what happened with the people was when they would say God Bless America, and somebody would go, huh? And they'll go, what? You don't love your country? So you see, it's kind of like that. So the reality of what happens is if you question the statement, God Bless America, well, then you're automatically put to death Hitler shit at that point. And I think that the reality of these sex things, I really think that's what the reality of what these guys are doing. Unless, I told my girl this, I said, unless they had like a little sister that got beat up and raped by an older dude or some shit like that, or like they stepdad came in and was raping their sister, unless it was like something that like they legitimately have a connection with, to just be sitting around in your off time and bored and think, you know what I should do? I should dress up like, I should pretend to be a 16-year-old girl to go find men that want to fuck me. That way I could just at them. I mean, for real, be honest with yourself. Like, how many of y'all, for real, your off time was seriously, and be real with yourself. How many of you would seriously just be sitting down and chilling, be like, you know what? I don't got shit else. I don't have nothing else to do, man. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna act like I'm a 15-year-old girl. You know what? I'm a 15, and and I'm gonna go try to get other men that think they want to fuck. Who for real? Who actually really thinks to do that shit? But see, it's that God bless America thing. Like if you're questioning the actual integrity and the reasoning behind it for real, well, then they'll just they could just find a way to say, oh, well, you must hate America or you advocate pedophiles. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is dig deeper on the actual thought process of what it takes for a grown-ass man to be minding his own business, working a full-time job or raising his kids or whatever the fuck, right? A full grown-ass man. For real, how many grown-ass men are going to be sitting around, you know what? I don't got nothing else to do. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to act like I'm a 16-year-old girl and just start talking. Like, there's a deeper connection. And in my opinion, motherfuckers who do that really have some like sexual fetish for that shit on their end. Like maybe they want to imagine themselves. It's either they want to, it's on that end, in my opinion, or it's dudes like this who are essentially just pretty much fucking trash and and are looking for and will do anything for a view. And we'll write it in the title. Like, I'm not putting anything about this in the title. As I told my girl, like if I'm sure if I put his name in the title, it would get more views. And I'm not gonna put his name in the title because that's not my purpose for doing this. My purpose is to think deeper on the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? On the reality of it. I'm reading the comments. Either that or they're bored enough to chase a rumor. And here's the thing, to chase a rumor, but like on top of that, all the time, I mean, for real, like all the time and effort that it would take to do that. Like, I just don't have the patience for that. I just don't. Like, I don't have the patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these stories I hear about, kids being kidnapped and motherfuckers beating up their wives. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, where are y'all getting all this energy from to do that? I don't care. Like, I'm not caring. Like, yo, I don't like motherfuckers be beating up their wives. Like, yo, okay, first off, with shit like that, like when motherfuckers be beating their wives up and shit, like, that's some straight bully shit, man. Cause like, here's the thing. Here's my thing. I'm not gonna fight somebody. I'm not gonna pick a challenge with somebody who I know I can beat. You know what I'm saying? like that there is no, if I know I can beat you, I'm not interested. All right. There's no interest from me in that at all. If I know, like, as I ran across that shit in chess last night, I played chess all day yesterday, dude. So much when I went to bed, I was seeing chess pieces in my eyes type of shit, right? But it's just that thing, like, yo, like, if somebody is just like, okay, that bullying shit, it comes out in many different ways, in many inventive ways with the addition of the internet. It comes out in many inventive ways. So what you'll find is, okay, like, for example, with chess, you'll find somebody who's just like, they will literally, like, their ego got hurt, so they'll create another account, so they'll get grouped up with people lesser than them, and then and just like it just beat them and just have fun with it. Like, that has no, I am not interested in doing that. Because you can look up their profile, and their profile is literally like fucking like 2 weeks old, and they're like fucking 25-0 type of shit. Like, because they're fucking chumps, man. Like beating people in shit that I know I can win at, I have no fun. There's a fucking fag on YouTube. I think his name's like Project Motorsport, Project Gotham Motorsport, some shit like that. Go look him up, because he's been exposed in the Gran Turismo world. He's a fucking fag. I'll tell you exactly what he does. So in the Gran Turismo world, when you drive, you have a sportsmanship rating and a driver rating. The sportsmanship rating is usually, are you hitting other drivers? Are you riding the wall? Are you bumping people off the track? And a driver rating is, well, how fast are you and how many places are you going up, right? So the thing is, like, and it's regulated based off of how well you do at, when you're driving, to try to group you up with people in your same league. So what this fag Project Motorsport Racing or some shit, I used to like him too before people outed him for what he was doing. What that bitch made fag does, he intentionally knocks people off the track to get his ratings to go down, and then races against people in far lower leagues than him and just dominates and posts that to YouTube to make himself look good until, of course, he gets back into his actual league of driver to where he can't win. So he'll start running everybody off the track, lower his rating with people he can beat, dominate, and then post that on YouTube. As if he's as if he's actually good at what the fuck he's doing. He's a fucking fag. I just have no tolerance for motherfuckers who do shit like that, man. Who like, to me, doing shit like that is like borderline, like, now that's borderline rapist shit. Like in real, like, just like do anything to take advantage because your ego got hurt type of shit. Like that shit like that is borderline rapist shit to me. I'm gonna let this go for about 30 minutes and we'll go in the video. Reverse boosting and Gran Turismo. Yeah, they would, yeah. Like, I that shit infuriates me, dude, when motherfuckers do that. Because they ego done got hurt, or they'll do anything for a view or anything for a win. That shit fucking, like, that shit, now that, very few things make me mad. Like, that shit, like, infuriates the fuck out of me when people do shit like that. I always get shamed for questioning the whole age laws too. Oh, Mark, yeah, here's the thing. And see, in the US, that age law shit is a much bigger situation. Because like I said, I think the age of consent in most European countries has always been like it's been as low as like 14 or even 13, I think, to like up to like 16, 17. Like, the age of consent. To fuck whatever you want. That everything about sex in the US has just become taboo to the point where in reality of just how the human mind works, like this was an expected outcome. Once a country fucking monopolizes pussy, dangles it in your face on Instagram, but then every bitch is chasing the top 5% of men, on online dating and shit, or if they men who derail men, like, so it's leaving all these men just this was a predictable situation, in my opinion, of the U.S. It's completely predictable. Now, is it right? I'm not saying it's right, but this is it was in my opinion, it was completely predictable. Just because how the country, one, just views sex, and then two, for example, when a woman's a prostitute, well, nobody's gonna come after her for what she did, not nowhere near as badly as they'll go after the man for going to buy a prostitute. My dad told me a story about, I think it was his doctor years ago. He went and tried to get a prostitute. I think it was like online or something like that. Met her. They went out to eat and blah, blah. And he tried to take her back and give her money, for sex. And he got arrested. Well, he lost his license to practice being a doctor because of that. Like, now, in my opinion, that shit was fucking ridiculous. Like, if that motherfucker is not, okay, if the guy is not like kidnapping bitches off the street, and grabbing them up and like legit forcing them against their will and all that shit, ain't nothing wrong with that shit. She agreed to that. In my opinion, there's no crime being done. The only crime that I see on the reality of human interactions is the pussy's being sold for a lot cheaper than it can be sold for, because let's look at America. There are no brothels, there are no real, approachable prostitutes. So motherfuckers got to come up to buy a bitch a house before he stands out. There's more money to be made off pussy, in my honest opinion. And he lost his doctor. He thought he lost his license to practice because he was paying a willing prostitute. I think that is completely fucking absurd. That's mind-boggling to me. I fell off the series after GT A-Spec. I was never really into Gran Turismo, honestly, until this GT Sport Online, man. Because just how it keeps it really helped me in monitoring my racing patterns, for real. Even though I'm not great by any means, it helped me in, really finding other ways to enjoy racing. For example, like knowing when to just brake. Like, and hitting a turn properly and not relying on using another car as your brakes to get through a turn type of shit. Like, it helped me just like, even though the penalty system is fucking trash, it did help me in finding, many other ways to enjoy driving, like racing too. I gotta admit, like, the penalty system's completely god awful fucking trash. Like you can just run somebody completely off the track and get recorded as having a clean race. Or that you drive perfectly clean and somebody hits you and your sportsmanship rating goes down. But there is at least some type of system in place. Because Forza Motorsport, they didn't add a penalty system until pretty much, when it was on its last leg. The whole, the Forza Motorsport 7, they didn't even, they put one in much later, and it was, from what Super GT was showing, like some parts didn't look that bad, honestly. It looked like it was actually a little better than Gran Turismo for real, but it was at the end of Forza Motorsport 7's life. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Why does the sound sometimes disappear? I don't know. Some parts didn't look that bad. Let me hear myself. I'm listening to myself right now. The sound is probably going out sometimes because I'm taking a break to drink beer. Because I got the live stream on. I'll try it. I'll try checking again. But yeah, what is it? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Since technically seems to be based on the culture of the country, unless they're just kidnapping or forcing them into it. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, and like that's exactly what I said. Unless like okay, even with like the Harvey Weinstein, let's say Harvey Weinstein was exactly what media wants you to believe he was, right? Which I'm not saying he's not. Maybe he was, and maybe I just maybe we just didn't see what he was really doing for real. Okay. Every one of those women had a way up out of there at any time they wanted to and all that shit. Like again, unless bitches was coming out of there with black eyes and and you know what I'm saying, shit like that, and or you know what I'm saying, or running to the police, and covered in blood or whatever, shit like that. Unless motherfuckers was coming out like that, like she knew how to get out of there. And see, and see, American media likes the push this. They see American. Okay, see, especially bitches in the U.S. They love how rap tight this whole sexual view is, in the dating marketplace, because it just gives them all the fucking power with no consequences. They love it because they love the fact that you can't question it out loud. You know what I'm saying? Because if you question it, well, you must be an abuser because you question. Like God bless America. If you question it, well, you hate America. It's the same thing, you see. Now, again, I'm not saying it's right to go out trying to fuck 13-year-old bitches when you fucking 30-something years old. I'm not saying that's right. What I'm more focused on is the actual mentality that the guys are the actual mentality that it takes to seriously do that, and what is really the ultimate goal in it. Because like again, when you say God bless America, the goal in God bless America, on the surface view is okay, you love your country, okay, cool, whatever, blah 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 blah. And okay, and like with the guys with these like with the Chris Hansons, don't get me wrong, it's entertaining television to watch somebody squirm and be fucked up because they thought they was getting ready to do something relatively highly illegal. You know what I'm saying? And they just flat out busted. And I was laughing at EDP too because he did some shit that the other dudes do on Chris Hansen. I thought that shit was funny. But for real, because okay, on surface, they can say, well, we're taking another monster off the streets. But I mean, really think about it. And I'm gonna touch on this because at the end of this video, the guy tries to call the police and tell the police exactly what happened, and he can't get the police to come out there. You see what I'm saying? I started off with that. Again, I'm not trying to advocate going to fuck 13-year-olds, nothing like that. But what? Okay, let's just listen to the guys. They're trying to call the police and get the police to come out there, and the police don't give a fuck. The police literally don't give a fuck. Oh yeah, Mar, yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris Hansen. Yeah, Chris Hansen was and the funny thing that EDP did that all them dudes always do. Like, and South Park covered it. How when Chris Hansen just when they be busted like that, and they tell them to do anything, and they just do it. It's because when he first got there, they told him to take off his sunglasses, and he was like, okay. Because Cartman, when he got caught by Chris Hansen told him to take a seat, and Cartman couldn't help himself. He went down and sit down. It's like, how does he do that? Have a seat right over there, yeah. Have a seat right over there, Shane. Have a seat right over there. I was farting. I couldn't get my fart out. That's why I leaned over like that for a minute. But okay, yeah, we gonna play this because we had. Well, I gave about 5 more minutes, and we gonna play just the end where like the police didn't even give a fuck. Like he's like, "Come on, can you please just send a police officer? We got a guy who's gonna fuck a 13-year-old. He thought it was a 13-year-old girl, but the police didn't even care. They was following him for a good at least a 2 or 3 minute walk. Right? That's a long walk for a fat dude like him. Right, and they was following him, and they had the police on the phone, and the police wouldn't send somebody. They just wouldn't even send anybody out there. The only reason they was even doing that shit with Chris Hansen is because Chris Hansen had that TV spot. So if Chris Hansen had it done, so here's the reality on that Chris Hansen shit. And see, these are situations people don't really think about too. Since Chris Hansen had that primetime TV spot of doing that, if Chris Hansen's team had done that and put that on TV. And then they would have mentioned, oh, we contacted the police department, but they didn't care. Guess what? Now the police department advocates pedophilia. Well, it's not even technically pedophilia. It's just fucking underage girls. Because pedophilia is actually, it's all broken up into different, we learned that when I was working working in my field. That's actually, fucking I'm pretty sure a 13-year-old girl is not pedophilia. But people just use pedophile as the word, and as the buzzword to know what you're talking about. But like I said, with Chris Hansen, see, the police had to they pretty much had to get involved at that point. Because again, if his team had gone out there and done all that and put on TV on NBC, or not, what was they on, ABC at 9 p.m. for an hour, and ratings went through the fucking roof. If they had done that and showed that, oh yeah, we caught these sex predators trying to fuck 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, and at the end of the show they go, well yeah, we contacted the police department, but they didn't take us serious. Oh, now guess what? The world is going to look at Hamilton County's police department like, well, are you guys advocating sex work and blah, 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 or pedophilia and all this shit like that? That would have been the next step. See, this is how quickly that shit can snowball out of control especially for those who don't know how to read between the lines on the reality, right? I got another example. Back where I'm from, at the church I used to go to, one of the guys there was known to be like a pervert, right? Now, I don't know if he actually was or wasn't. I don't know the motherfucker like that, right? So what happened was he ended up, I'm pretty sure he ended up marrying one of my high school friends' mom, and they went to the church together, and they lived together. Well, this other woman from the church needed some money, so she contacted, the pervert, the guy known as a pervert, and the guy said, okay, well, yeah, just come over and pick up the money. To a guy who's known as a pervert, right? So the woman, goes over there, and of course the wife's not home. Nobody knows what happened. The woman goes back to church and says that the pervert raped her and starts busting out crying, right? Now, the reality on situations like this is, for the man, you might as well just pack up and leave at that point, because you're not gonna win, all right? Because here's the reality of the steps on when shit hits the fan like that, okay? And this is where women have all the power, and they love it, and they're not gonna give it up, because why give it up, right? So the reality of what happens is this: if you're up in church, right, and a woman, she wanted to give a special announcement out, and she goes up there and says that she was raped by blah blah blah, and starts busting out crying. The pastor is now put in a real fucked up position, right? Because here's the thing: pastors aren't stupid, all right? The pastor knows what this man was known of, and why did you go over to his house when you knew his wife wasn't there? You knew what this shit was, bitch. I know it's what the pastor was saying in his mind. I'm not mad at him. I'm not gonna call him out for it. But here's the part: I know the whole reality of how it had to play out. He looked at that bitch and said, "Motherfucker, you knew." This guy was known, had this rumor in the social circles that he was a pervert, blah, blah. Why did you go over there if you knew all this was, especially when his wife's not home? You'll go over his house when his wife's not home. You see what I'm saying? So he's thinking that, but he can't say it. Because see, in America, again, it's the God bless America situation. God bless America. If you say anything against it, well, you're Hitler, you hate your country. So the pastor is now put in a position to keep his church together, right? And to keep his church together, if he in any type of way tried to help the pervert out, well, now he advocates sexual abuse. You see how quickly that will now spiral out of control? You see that? So he had to tell the guy, look, you can't come back anymore. And from first glance, okay, I say from knowing a little bit about woman's nature, I probably would have been a little mad about it. But in the whole thing, like I get like, okay, in the whole scheme of things, looking from the pastor's perspective, he had to do it, man. He had, because if he had a question, a millimeter of what happened, he would immediately be advocating sexual abuse, and there goes his church, there goes, his whole career in church, all that shit. It's all gone like that. You see, that was rough. If I was pastor, I would have called her. I don't care. Shame. I can't sleep at night going against my principles. But here's like, because he's a real cool dude. My pastor, he's always been a great guy, man. But his life was in the church. Like, that's all he knows. And see, stuff like, when it comes, especially in the U.S., man, when it comes to sex and fucking up with sex, like, here's the thing. When it comes to, like, sexual abuse and shit like that, or any and every sex offender who I've ever had as my client, or I knew, or, like, knew through friends of friends, they always had girlfriends, dude. Always. Every male sex offender I had, dude, they've always kept the women, right? Always. But out in that world, in that social view of the world, women will always be able to hold that over your head whenever they feel like it. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes like your job or your profession, they can always hold that shit over your head, dude. And they'll make it, and the second they feel like it, they just make your entire life live in hell immediately. What's up, Jay Banks? So we're gonna play this end part where they trying to call the police on him, but the police don't give a fuck.
Somebody over here.
Oh yeah, there he's talking to him right now.
His full name. He came to the 13-year-old, and he has multiple, because he admitted everything to us. We have all these messages saved with him. He's asked for lewd material. It's a sting operation, and we have an organization that does this. But can you just please just send somebody over here? It's ALEXROS.
All right, he's gonna go home. He just said he's gonna go home. So
832.
Hey, watch out! He's going to his car.
Yeah.
What's your phone number after 832? All right. Well, he's heading home now, so you know.
We called the cops.
CC.
You're gonna get help, right?
Hey, CC.
Yes. You know
bro.
what? Just send the cop
No,
over
back
here.
up.
Send the
You're
cop
gonna get
over
help,
here.
right?
No, we don't. Just send somebody. Oh, he's driving off. No weapons. No. Just, well, he's driving off now. He drives a. We have everything on him. We want to turn over. We want to turn this over.
There's one down there. Does he not have it?
Oh, we don't have a license plate. We don't have everything. Send somebody. What?
Yeah, the cops legit. The cops didn't give a fuck. He's literally begging the cops to send somebody out there, like multiple, and they just don't give a fuck. Like, just don't. They just don't. Well, does he have any weapons? Whatever. Yeah, like, just like, dude, just get off. They didn't get. And like I say, see with that Chris Hansen shit. The only reason that shit the police got involved, because like I said, Chris Hansen had that prime time fucking TV spot. You know what I'm saying? He had that prime time spot on TV, so the cops had to do it. Because like I said earlier, if the cops had refused, well then, God bless America. It's the God bless America routine. Oh, what? Well, you refuse, so that means you advocate sexual abuse. And the cops they're stuck because now they've got this news channel, this mainstream television channel coming in, filming some shit for whole season episodes, and they don't want anything to do with sexual abuse and stopping it. Yeah, it's the God bless America routine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this topic, this situation of doing anything to get views and all this shit like that, it's just in my opinion, ultimately speaking, like, you know, thinking deeper from the initial just shock value of God bless America, but thinking deeper into it, it's just ultimately it's just a cheap way it was just a cheap and, in my opinion, pretty pathetic way of doing it, in my opinion, or just a cheap and pathetic way of just doing it in general, in my opinion. Yeah. Again, I'm not trying to say what EDP did was right by any means. I'm not trying to, you know, because I know where a dumb motherfucker would play this, and they would just say, because dumb motherfuckers don't know how to think, right? Obviously, because that's, you know, the exact definition of being a dumb motherfucker. So dumb motherfuckers just immediately just say whatever they think they should say and think however they think they should think, instead of knowing what to actually think about and formulating fucking words, right? So yeah, I'm not trying to say what EDB did was right, but what I'm trying to say is what my focus is, the reality of people who go out and hunt pedophiles. Because again, this was the same guy. What's his name? Chet. Go if you don't believe, I ain't gonna look it up. Go look at Chet Goldstein. That motherfucker was the same dude. He was on recording on live stream talking about how he gives dick to his 3-year-old cousin, female cousin. Well, it doesn't matter, female or male. He was gonna buy him a bike and he gives dick to his 3-year-old female cousin. It's the same, like, see, you know what I'm saying? There's a strong connection with motherfuckers who's even ready to entertain that shit. Like, for real, like, go completely out their day, script some shit, work through fucking days and weeks of creating a bond with a motherfucker. Like, for real, think about that shit. You have to be sitting around and going, oh, well, you know, I'm real bored. I don't got anything else to do. Well, my job, cooking food, cleaning something. No, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna act like I'm a 15-year-old girl. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And then on top, and then on top of that, you now have to carry on this persona. Outside of your job and whatever the fuck you gotta do in life, you now have to carry this persona on. And these motherfuckers ain't Chris Hansen. These motherfuckers like, you know, Derek Blake. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfucker you ain't heard of. Like, these motherfuckers ain't getting funds from NBC and ABC and them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers sitting up just with nothing to do, right? And you said, cause you hoping on a way to get views so you can boost your career. And all you gotta keep a persona and keep this shit up, right? And sound, and this, okay, and the next question, how these motherfuckers even know how to sound like a 13-year-old girl? Did you think about that? I don't even know how to text like I'm 13. How did they know how to text like they 13? Thinking cap time. Who was actually fucking 13-year-old bitches? I don't know the first thing about how to type in like a 13-year-old bitch. How the fuck did they know how to do that shit? Did you ever think about this? See, because people don't think about this shit. They just run away. God bless America. Okay, yep, God bless America. Yep. Because if anything else, I'm automatically evil. Yeah, it's that shit, man. It's that shit. Like, yo, like, how the fuck? I don't even know how do 13-year-old bitches even talk? I don't know. Right? But guess who does? Chet Morstein, right? That motherfucker, Chet Goldstein. That motherfucker knows how 13. I wonder why. Seriously. So, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's say he went to a school and learned how to write like a 13-year-old bitch, right? And not only that, he was even sending pictures to this motherfucker of a 13-year-old bitch. So he just told on himself right there. He's got pictures of fucking 13-year-old bitches in his phone that he's sending to a 30-year-old man. See, that whole mental shit, when you really think about that shit in depth, past the God bless America routine, once you think more in depth about that shit, dude, like, it just gets worse and worse and worse. It really does. It just gets worse and worse. Apparently, one of the guys got caught doing the same thing. Yeah. It was a dude with the red. It was the redhead dude. It was a dude over there holding the phone. He got caught. Yeah. He was saying some fucked up shit. It is funny. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, yeah, pretending to be another. Who the fuck? Yeah. That's just like the more you think about the reality of what it takes to do that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like to really do that. For what it the step-by-step protocols it takes. Okay, the step-by-step protocols that it takes for you to just have enough courage to be like, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, for real? How does a motherfucker even know how to talk like a 13-year-old bitch? How did he know how to do that? What, from texting 25-year-old bitches? No. How the fuck this motherfucker went on? Think about that shit, man. Like, how the fuck did he know that? And then keep the persona up so long, not knowing if it's gonna work out or not. He just ain't got nothing to do so much where he gonna keep that shit up. Cause he was trying to boost his career. That's what it was, man. He was trying to boost his career and take down a popular man. Cause that's just the reality of the world. How do you make your career by taking down a popular man? That's how you gonna make your career in life. Okay, because that Theranos, Ashley, Amanda, Elizabeth Holmes, or that bitch is, ain't nobody getting no recognition for that. As a bitch. But if it had been Andrew Holmes, oh yeah, motherfuckers be going down. Motherfuckers go down in history for taking down men. Motherfuckers don't go down in history for taking down bitches. All right, nobody give a fuck who took down Cleopatra. who took down who? What? I don't know that motherfucker. But Abraham Lincoln, what's that motherfucker? I just forgot. I just had his name in my head. I was getting ready to say Alexander Graham Bell, but John Wilkes Booth. You know what I'm saying? Like you take down a man, you will go down in history for taking down a man. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the world works. But the funny part was, I mean, yeah, he did. I mean, he called EDP fucking up. All right, whatever, cool. I mean, yeah, I get it. Hey, he's fucked up too. You know, in the workforce, because I think he probably had to register as a sex offender and shit. Like once they finally got this shit into some type of courtroom, yeah, he can't deny it. He had intent to go fuck with an underage girl, so he's gonna be a sex offender at this point. But the funny part was the dude in the red, he ended up destroying his own career while doing that because he thought he was getting ready to hit the big time and shit. And his videos came out. It's like, uh-oh. And they deleted both of their YouTube channels. Neither one of them can even make a fucking social media account anymore. I thought that was funny. If you aren't on official lawful investigation and that's your phone, isn't that considered possession? Yeah, Obsidian. Yeah, he was sending the motherfuckers pictures of a young girl. See what I'm saying? Like, the more you think about it, dude, the more you think about it, the worse the shit gets for the motherfuckers who are doing, like, that's like I said, what man in the world is seriously sitting around so bored, right? He's just so bored with nothing else to do, where this is now taken over his mind. And this is just step one to where he came with the idea to do it, right? Then step two, actually go study how 13, 14, 15-year-old bitches text, talk, and write and shit like that, and even come up with pictures of other 13-year-old bitches and all this shit. Okay, and that's step two. And then step three is to actually go through with, like, legitimately employing the shit on a motherfucker. Like, the steps it takes to do, I'm equally as afraid. Okay, here's the thing. I'm equally as afraid of the hunters as the pedophile hunters as I am the actual pedophile at this point. Because, like, man, like, it's just like how the world works. What would Denzel Washington say in Training Day? It takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You know what I'm saying? How do you protect the sheep? You gotta what's gonna come? Something like, what's gonna come kill the sheep? It's gonna be a wolf. Yeah, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You see, and on top of that, these motherfuckers now know how to move even more covertly because they trying to catch a motherfucker. Yo, I'm more, in reality of it, I'm more afraid of the predator hunter than I am the predator at this point, for real. Because them motherfuckers know how to move now. You know what I'm saying? So what's to say this motherfucker don't go out and try to pretend to be a 14-year-old boy trying to get a 12-year-old girl? We don't know. Because now he know how to talk like 13-year-olds. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. He knows now. And on top of that, he has that drive to be submerged in it. I'm more afraid of that motherfucker, for real. I'm more afraid of those two. I'm afraid of the dude in black and with the black mask on because he's just clearly a fucking coward. You know, he's just riding the coattails of the dude in the blue shirt, and the dude in the blue shirt that shit just completely rubbed me the wrong way. If you want to be real about it. Fist bump. Oh yeah, he's like fist bump. Oh, you don't do fist bumps. Yeah. At the same time, there is like this weird hate boner going around on America, especially around here. Yeah, well, yeah. So Mario, here's the thing, man. When I was in high school, I still remember this one kid named Tyler. He got real mad because motherfuckers didn't stand during the the Star Spangled Banner, the anthem, the national anthem, and he was like ready to fight like a group of motherfuckers over that shit. like, like maybe now it's lightened up a bit, but when I was in high school, you would still find some motherfuckers like that. That like the God Bless America routine. Like you don't think too, you ain't supposed to. If you think about it, whether you're anti-America immediately. You're anti-America. Well, then just like when you talk about these sex cases and shit, like when you talk about these sex cases, shit like this, if you question any bit of it, oh, these things have always held my interest too, because I remember watching something about Florida where, and this was the first time where I really gave it thought, right? It was this documentary or something down in Florida. I think it's called like Amy's Law or something like that, where sex offenders have like because you're not gonna find a job a lot of times, and they have to live literally like under bridges and shit, right? I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like that's fuck. You know, like you get a sex offense for peeing outside, dude. You can get a sex offense. It don't see, and that's the other. See, like that's when it comes to these sex crimes, it's not that you actually did something, but media will lead you to believe you're automatically this murdering rapist who cuts off children's heads type of thing. Motherfuckers will get sex offender status because they peed outside, dude. Like quick. Just for that. Just because the cop was having a bad day and made the case sound worse than it was when he wrote the shit up and sitting in the court, and the motherfucker ended up with was it a third degree sex offender status, some shit like that. Just because he just had a bad day. Motherfuckers get that shit hard. Like and I remember when I first gave that shit thought, I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers that live under a bridge, dude, they can't even go get a job. They stuck. And that's when it first hit me. Like, yo, like even if you tried to, if a motherfucker tried to argue that law, well, you're gonna immediately be an advocate of sexual abuse. So you can't fight it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the status of where this shit is for men. For men. Again, women teachers, they can go fuck, women teachers, women can send news to 8-year-olds. They can suck 9-year-olds. I remember, was it a Bengals cheerleader? She got caught sucking a 9-year-old's dick at the bathroom at a family function, and I think she was a Bengals cheerleader. She got caught doing that. She ain't doing no thing. She probably did maybe like 2 or 3 years, some shit like that, and you know what I'm saying, was out. And because she's gonna find some dude on the outside who's gonna give her whatever the fuck she wants because she's a woman. You see what I'm saying? Like that whole situation is just a rough one. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's a rough one. Because just as quick as you find somebody doing some wild shit, you find somebody doing some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them scenarios where it definitely is, fucking a big gray area. Those God Bless America people had kids who bowed down to the message. Yeah. Undercover cops know how to impersonate criminals, but they don't commit crimes. It's dumb to claim that hunters will go molest kids just because they know how to talk to predators. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how about Raka Mize. Here, see okay. This is going to be an oversimplification on the reality of what happens to the human mind, but it's the similar thing like how many drug dealers end up doing drugs because they're around it, they learn how to move, and sooner or later, if you're around that, if you're around that mentality of people who are doing this, you're gonna find, and see, these are things that these sex abuse police departments, they'll never talk about out loud. But see, for people like me, people who work as like either me or better, like actual psychologists or mental health disability motherfuckers, we know this shit, right? The longer you stay around people who are doing something like there's a good chance that you're going to start seeing the appeal in it, right? It might take some time, but after time, you're going to start seeing like what they see in it, because you're trying to think what will get their attention. You see what I'm saying? So it'll take it. Now, every now and then there's some people who just never cross that line. But at some point, you're gonna have to employ perfect, like Training Day. Perfect example. When Hoyt got caught up with Denzel Washington character who was a dirty cop, well then Hoyt started doing some borderline dirty shit because he's around that. It's that proximity shit. I'm not saying everybody's gonna do it, but the reality of it is, if you learn how to think like somebody to the point where you're now dedicated to get up and actually employ what you think attracts them, at some point throughout your thought process of doing that work, you are going to start seeing what they see in it. It just is that's just the reality of it. A lot of DA are addicted to drugs, yeah. Well, and I think, yeah, and to be honest, the drug, that was like I feel like that was an oversimplification, because the whole like actual addictive properties in drugs, but I feel like that was an oversimplification. But I think I still got the point across of what I'm trying to say is, and I get what Rocka was saying, but they don't commit crimes. Yeah. Here's the thing, Rocka. And also I'll say this, they can. The point I'm trying to make is, at this point they'll be so good at it you won't know, because they know what other cops are looking for. They know what people who are hunting them are now looking for. So how will you get good at learning it at that point? How will you get good at knowing if the cop is actually good at it or not? Because see, for those of you who've dealt with dirty cops, like they know how to move, what to say, how to carry themselves, keep it collect. They learn that psychological warfare on that level. You see, they're not, I'm not saying I'm like that gangster to where I'm, omnipotent, but they're not like, okay, I feel like I can do a little bit better job of sniffing it out. I'll say that. But that's the main trick. Just like, okay, same, like you could, okay, and it kind of falls in line of, let's say, like bank robbers, right? And this is where media kind of leads people kind of down. I'm not saying it to rock, but I'm saying like in the world, it leads people down the wrong path. Media leads. Okay, for example, I love this. Did you ever think that James Bond is actually the worst spy? And I'll tell you why. But 007 is actually the worst spy. You know why? Because everybody knows who James Bond is. Right? All the bad guys know. They'll catch wind and figure him out, in 15 minutes. James Bond is actually the worst spy because everybody in the fucking universe knows exactly who James Bond is. They know who 007 is. You see? But here's the reality of that shit. See, the good bank robbers are the ones who you'll never hear of because they never get caught. They know what they're doing in that field, you see. And then media kind of leads you, like, media will kind of lead the majority of the population like the other way. Like, if you got caught, well, that's the only bank robber around. You see, you know how many times banks get fucked over with hackers getting in their shit and fucking their shit up? My girl's bank right now is fucked up. Her account's been fucked up for the last week. And I already know what, because some hackers got into that shit and fucked it up and stole a bunch of money from the bank, and the bank's never going to tell you. Because here's the thing. Banks are not going to tell you because they're hoping that they hold on to your faith in them. This psychological warfare is like psychological warfare in the world gets real deep real quick, man. I'm telling you, it gets real deep. But here's the thing: most people don't have the time nor patience to really analyze situations fully and then come to like a legitimate conclusion on an independent, logical, level. This is just how the world works. Most people are working all day long, deal with family, kids, all that. They don't have the time to think about it. You see, like again, James Bond is like literally the worst spy. But like if you pay attention to the movie, you think, oh, James Bond pretty gangster. He do a good job. Really think about that shit, dude. James Bond is the worst spy. But see, the movies, they're not gonna spell it out for you. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta watch it. Everybody knows who he is within fucking 5 minutes. Motherfuckers ain't even never met him know who he is. All right? And he's supposed to be a spy. All right? That motherfucker should be fired in the first day, son. Everybody knew who you was. So you want this is the opposite requirements to be a spy. This is the opposite. Black Lady Expat said the best way to rob a bank is to own one. Yeah, that's a good point. I used to think about it too if everyone knew that. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. That's psychological warfare in the world is real fucking deep, man. It's really deep. It's really deep. And like I said, but by the time people in the world realize it, well, they'll just reject it. A perfect example. Earlier today, I told y'all in the last live stream. Let me switch this to me. I told y'all in the last live stream, right? When I pay 14,000 Czech crowns a month for this flat, right? And in these there's Facebook groups for Facebook Prague expat, blah blah, and they'll advertise flats. And and again, I'm paying 14,000 Czech crowns for this flat. They are advertising a room in another flat for 12,000 Czech crowns in these foreigner websites, between 10 to 12,000 crowns, for a room on this website. And I tried to say like, yo, this is like, am I missing something? What the fuck's going on? Blah 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 blah. And like, oh, the foreigners say like, oh, this is normal, whatever. And it takes me like, I literally like ran out of fucking energy arguing with these motherfuckers. Like, I'm trying to explain like, yeah, this is a good deal to you because this is what you're used to paying in America. But over here, you're getting fucking scammed hard. And that ego shit takes over, man. And they don't want to let that shit go. So what they do, they gonna fight me on it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to think like, oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I could be paying 14,000 crowns, 50,000 crowns a month for rent, but I'm paying 22,000 for my flat. Like, these motherfuckers, like. So by the time the argument was over, I was like, well, you know what? Now I've learned so much from this room. I think I'm just gonna rent my flat out for double the price because you don't want to believe me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell the motherfuckers this shit. They don't want to believe me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just rent my flat out and I'll just join the dark side then if you dumb motherfuckers don't want to listen. Because I'm trying to help them out. Mr. Moji, AD not allowed to say that about James Bond. He's the greatest spy of all time. Everybody knows exactly what he looks like and who he is. And still secretly gets to the military bases. Yeah. Yeah, oh, he's great. Yeah, James Bond's the greatest spy, but he's a fucking spy, and everybody knows who he is. They literally tell you this shit in the movie. He's the worst spy on earth. But yeah, man. But yeah, you got to read between the lines on that shit. I'm with you, Mr. Boji. You got to read between the lines on that shit. Yeah. He's let me see. Simon Lewis says 007 movies were interesting. Watch unrealistic due to Bond having a car helicopter conveniently waiting for him in a life-threatening action scene. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. And to be honest, like I was a fan. I'm a fan of Daniel Craig. So last James Bond kind of left me a little salty, But I'm a fan of Daniel Craig for real. And I didn't like him. I didn't like Casino Royale. I'm gonna try to go back and watch Casino Royale because I think when I watched it the first time, I just wasn't in the proper mind to watch it. Because I like Quantum of Solace. But again, I was watching it more for just the action and the music type of shit, in the cars. I wasn't really watching following the actual storyline in it. So I'm gonna go back and try to watch Quantum of Solace again. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I think it probably was a lot of people did like Quantum of Solace and they didn't like I'm sorry, not Quantum of Solace. A lot of people did like Casino Royale. A lot of people like Casino Royale, but didn't like Quantum of Solace. So I'm gonna try to go back and watch both of those. JJ says they had to become I knew a government cleaner involved in counterterrorism. I had good friendship with him for a while and had some crazy stories, but he became a real psycho. They had to become their target. Yeah, well, yeah, JJ, yeah, I'm with you on yeah. Like you like once you work at hunting, like you have to become at some point, like you have to start becoming, you have to start finding I don't want to say pleasure, but you have to start finding logic in what you're hunting, and then finding things like you at some point if you're if you're hunting a fucking wolf, like, and you get to learning wolves and shit, right? At some point you have to start finding like what they find fun to you, because you're finding it fun because that's what they find fun, type of shit. It's just human habit, and just human fucking it's just human habit at that point of being, that like attracts like type of shit, or like becoming what you like, becoming what you hang out with type of shit. It's the same shit, and people just automatically just negate that shit, dude. Like I said earlier, I'm more afraid. In the reality, I'm more afraid for the motherfuckers working with the cops doing shit like that than I am of the actual people doing it for real. Because the actual people doing it, they don't have that other perspective. You see what I'm saying? So their level of creativity, is gonna max out at a certain point. Whereas, like, see, when them cops become drug dealers or whatever the fuck, and they infiltrating that shit, see, the cop, he's got the higher ground perspective, but then he's also learning the lower ground perspective. So that motherfucker can cover way more ground in the whole scheme of things, and like for real, because now he knows how to get away with it. Unless he's just so fucking high he can't think straight. But if he's not that fucking high, he can cover a lot more ground. You see, but see, things like this topics like this are very touchy topics, because again, a lot of people can't handle thinking shit through. This is why so many sex laws, especially in the U.S., are just completely fucked. Because if you question it, well, it's God Bless America routine. It's the God Bless America. It's Anchorman 2, God Bless America routine. You have to either you have to enjoy it, or you're immediately Hitler type of shit, right? But yeah, these and to be honest with y'all, I was a little shooken to even talk about this shit before the live stream, because I knew I was gonna lose some motherfuckers with this. I knew I was gonna lose people with this. Some people, at least, at minimum, because like I said, this is a tough. See, when it comes to especially in the U.S., sex has become so tabooed, and so it's just that thing that's put on a pedestal. It's that thing to where you're not supposed to ever question like sex. Okay, sex in the U.S. has essentially become what God was, I'd say, 30 years ago. Like you don't question God. You don't question anything that has to do with God. If you did, then you're a devil worshiper. You're immediate. If you question, I went to Christian schools when I was there. I went to a private Christian school, and that's where I'm gonna segue this rant on next. I went to a Christian school, right? Private Christian school, and it was that's what it was. If in my close friends, close family, all that shit, if you question anything that God ever did, you are immediately a devil worshiper, right? And I remember I used to have to tell motherfuckers, like, no, that's not what a devil worshiper. A devil worshiper is a devil worshiper, okay? I would have to tell them the actual definition of what it was. And even then, it's just it's that small city, small mind shit. They just can't. Thinking in depth is just not gonna. It's too difficult. Because that comfort zone of knowing that Arby's is down the street, knowing that McDonald's is over there, that comfort zone of knowing Walmart's open 24 hours, that takes over to where they just want to just put their mind on cruise control and just go. So if they actually have to start thinking, see, you ain't going to find a lot of good chess players out there. Because you got to be independent with that shit. Ross says, no, I'm glad you are talking about it, because everyone else is afraid to bring it up. But yeah, I understand the being shaken apart, but it really need to be discussed more. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks, Xavier and JJ. Let me see, Mo. Mo says, yo, AD, what do you think the future of America is going to be? Since most dudes are not trying to get married and tired of the status quo, the rise of baby mamas and rise of dudes doing their own thing. Yeah, the America, that's whew. The U.S., man, that's a rough thing. That really is. Honestly, to be honest, okay, I wasn't a fan of Trump. Uh, Not because of his, ability to run shit, but more of his ability to be a philanthropist. I wasn't a fan of Trump. I didn't vote for Trump or Hillary Clinton. I voted for a dude who smoked weed. I tell you, that's exactly who I voted for. um, Randall Johnson or some shit like that. I voted for him. But but I thought Trump was going to be the last try that we had at evening out that balance with the whole grab him by the pussy shit, when that, because motherfuckers was like was on him for that, and low key I was too, low key for like a little bit, like low key I was on him for that, but thinking from the perspective of dealing with American women, I was like, that might have been the exact kick that we needed in this country to balance that man and woman shit out, to show the reality. Because again, go and look at who voted for Trump. At least half the women in the U.S. voted for Trump after knowing he did all that shit, right? So like again, you got to read between the lines and see what the fuck, like the actual core of what the fuck happened. It was at least half. I want to say it was like 57% of women, of all women in the U.S. voted for. I want to say, I might be wrong, but it was at least, it was definitely a lot more than, it was at least half. They voted for Trump, and I would have thought the country would have seen that and recognized it and acted on it after he done been caught. The motherfuckers came and talking about he done raped them, or not raped them, but touched them and voyeured on them while they was modeling for him and grabbing them by the pussy, and a tape came out and all that. I seriously would have thought that would have balanced out the because here's the thing. See, women, they never, women in the world will rarely come to you and tell you exactly what they after and what they want and all that. They very rarely do. They expect you to just figure it out from actions that they did. You know what I'm saying? They rarely come out and do that shit, right? Very rarely. They expect you to just figure it. And I honestly believe that was like I believe that the women that voted for Trump was a desperation move by a woman. To hope you find that, hope you see it and realize it and know what it is. But it didn't work. Living outside the U.S. for a while, I can say sex for Americans is a strange, magical thing. Oh, yeah, Black Label Expat for sure, yeah. Yeah, okay, and you know the crazy part? So when you go to like gas stations, like out in, I'm in, Prague, when you go to gas stations, you'll see magazines with women with they tits hanging out. It's not covered up or anything. On the U.S., it's gonna be covered. They won't even put that in a regular gas station. You got to go to the back room to see something like that. But oh yeah, as far as when I used to go to Germany and when I went to Austria, it was the same thing. You go to a gas station, you got magazines and bitches got their tits just hanging out, just hanging out, like on the front of the magazine. In America, sex has been so taboo to the point where men are just glorifying this shit. It's become this. It's like I said, now sex now in the U.S. has now, and everything that has to do with sex has become what God was 30 years ago in the U.S. You don't question it. And if they give you a sliver of it, well, you just supposed to sit there and take it, because if not, oh well, you against us. You're against it now. It's in my opinion that's where we at. Do the math. Yee says do the math. It was 50%. It was 57% of white women. Okay, it was actually 57% of white women. Yeah, I remember it was a 57 in there somewhere, but yeah. That was the desperate cry. In my opinion, that was the desperate cry for women to say, like, look, we don't like this shit. You should do the math and see that after Trump said all this about women and all this and all that about everybody, we still want him to be the man in the office. See, that was a woman's desperate attempt to get you to just read their mind. Now, some of us did, but there's still a lot of pressure, you see. At this point, like I've always said, feminism was a shit test gone bad. Modern feminism was a shit test that just went horribly wrong. And women in the U.S. have hated it ever since. But they don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Because she's never going to admit it. Very rare. Some will. Every now and then you'll come across some. But most of them will never do it. He said, "No, I like Trump just for that reason. He didn't care about saying some ballsy shit, ballsy stuff." Yeah. Yeah. But okay, now here's the thing. Like, now with that perspective, Mario, I'm with you on that. But the thing is, okay, the first time I had an issue with Trump was when he started when he was getting on about the Mexicans, right? Because that was pretty much his whole fucking thing was to pin Americans against the illegal Mexicans. That was, at least that was the first thing that gained momentum for him in the U.S., right? And I remember sitting in the friend of mine who I went to go hang out with in Texas. He was living in Ohio at the time. We was sitting up in his attic, right? And he was for Donald Trump. And I brought that up. I said, yeah, and my argument was, okay, like, I'm not questioning Trump's ability to run shit, to do shit with money. I'm not questioning that, all right? I'm not questioning that. But when you're in that position of leadership, once you start separating, races and shit like that, see, there's going to be that trashy motherfucker down the street who is going to hear that and think it's okay to go bomb that Mexican church while motherfuckers are in it. Because and then they go ask him, well, why'd you do it? Oh, well, because Trump hates him. You see, that'll give him that extra push to go do it. You see, that's what I was, and I think that shit like that, it started to happen after that. But that was my argument. See, that being a philanthropist and watching what you say for what people fuck around and go out there and do in the real world, that was my issue with them. Like, just don't let that motherfucker talk a whole lot. Because while he will say some gangster shit, but and he'll say some real shit that'll hurt. All right, I'm so not ignoring that. He'll say some legit gangster shit, real shit that'll fucking hurt. But at the same time, a lot of people can't handle that shit properly. What's up, AD? I'm at work, but I'm listening. Yo, Mike, thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in. If Trump had Obama's speech, it would have been game over. Oh, word. I'll be real with you. I didn't vote for Obama. Both times. I didn't vote at all. And I'll tell you exactly why. Well, I'll tell everybody, everybody who's watching, exactly why. The reason why I didn't vote for Trump is because for Obama, is because I remember going in there to vote, and I thought to myself, I said, me voting for Obama just because he's not white is no better than a white person voting for somebody just because they're white, right? And I voted for somebody who I knew wasn't gonna win. I didn't because like that's, I mean, I'm not gonna vote for a man just because he's black, or what they said he wasn't completely black, he was mixed and all this shit like that. But let's say I'm not gonna vote for somebody just because simply because they skin color. Even though, now I'll back that up with this. Even though in the U.S., that is kind of a reason to vote for a president. I'm not going to, because look at all the presidents before him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of is, I mean, I got to accept that part. I got to admit that part. That kind of is a reason to vote for a motherfucker to be president. Look at all the presidents before him, people who even stood a chance to become president. All right? It was just, there was no brown people in that motherfucker. So that alone kind of was a reason. But with me and my morals, I couldn't do it. I didn't vote for him both times. Both times he ran, didn't vote for him. I voted for somebody who I can't remember who it was back then, but it was somebody who I knew wasn't going to win. I think his name was like Ralph. Ralph something, I think. If I'm not too mistaken. Xavier says, I agree. Chillpill says, Ayo AD, how are you doing, man? Hope you've been good. And have you heard the story of James Franco talking about he slept with Amber Heard while she was married to Johnny Depp? I'm not surprised, man. Honestly, I'm not. Man, at that, by the time Amber Heard was, Chillpill, I'm going to say this. By the time Amber Heard was doing by the time she had the courage to sit in a room with Johnny Depp and another man and talk about all that shit out loud, and then with a bullying, inferring that she was bullying this motherfucker. She was doing some wild shit before that. All right, I'm not surprised. By the time she had the courage to sit up there and do that as a woman, you know what I'm saying? With Johnny Depp in the room with another man, and she's sitting here saying, you're just a big baby. By the time she had the courage, the audacity to be that wild, I'm not surprised. She look, that was probably the least of what she did. All right, let's be real about it. That was probably the least of what that tramp did. I got to pee. My girl taking a shower. I can hear her. I got to pee. So she gonna be mad because I'm gonna flush the toilet. And I don't know if the water fucks up because I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be here by myself. I don't know because I ain't never, flushed the toilet and been in the shower at the same time. So I don't know if it fuck it up or not. I gotta pee. I can hear her taking a shower. Do you agree with the save yourself black men agenda? I don't know what that is. Yee. I don't know what that save yourself black men agenda is. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is, man. I have to look it up. Where's my phone? Save yourself agenda. What is that? Where we at? The Thinking Black Men's Guide to Escape. Oh, that's a Kindle book. Oh, these are books. I can't see it. Oh, wait. Yeah. It was Save Yourself Black Men, Booktopia. I don't know what this is. SYSB. I don't know what that is after that. Oh, because community and society will not. You're a free room. Yeah, I have no idea what that is, man, honestly. It's basically leave black women alone. Oh, wow, John. I had no idea. Okay. It's basically leave black women alone. Wow. Yeah. Whew. I mean, okay, I guess based off of my history, you would say that I agree with it. If that's the core of it, leave black women alone. If that's the core of it, yeah, you could say, I guess you could say I support it, but I've never actually read anything to give any deeper insight on it. If that was the main question. Mario says, I respect you for that, Obama. Oh, thanks, Mario. I appreciate it, man. Future America, they're going to do forced marriages or they're... Well, okay, Mr. Moji, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I also think that possibly, okay, like I said in the stream a long time ago, I think what I see happen in about the next 20 to 30 years is they're going to have to make like women will eventually play victim enough to where society is going to have to just build, these Pokemon bitches and all this shit like that. See, when these bitches fall off, unless they got lucky and fucked a dude and had a baby by him who was doing something with his life, these Pokemon bitches, them bitches gonna fall off hard. All right, them bitches are make. Well, yeah, y'all see that bitch who was making what $50,000 a week selling farts. And she thought she had a heart attack, so she quit doing it because she was eating too much beans and eggs and shit. See, when that ride is over, for her being that young, cute, pretty thing going and all this shit like that, and she could just fart in a bag and send it to you and make $50,000 a week doing that shit. When she falls off of it, dude, could you imagine your life when you fall out of being able to fart in a bag and make $50,000 a week doing that shit, where you actually got to go work at Walgreens because you ain't never went to college or nothing or held a job, so you don't know how to work? Dude, like, could you imagine the mental stress that would employ on you? For real? Like, you gonna be fucked up. If I had to guess, in about 20, 30 years, it's going to be a lot more of them because everything's switching online with this Instagram shit, with TikTok. Everything is switching to completely online. So these fucking tramps who are online posing in high heels and 15 pounds of makeup with their tits and ass hanging out. See, when they fuck around and get old and they can't get that income, see, these bitches don't know how to do nothing. Right? So what are they going to do? Nothing. And in my opinion is, they will eventually fucking shame and play victim hard enough in the U.S. to where the U.S. will just give them fucking homes to go live in. Right? Because they ain't going to know how to do nothing. They dumb as fuck. They're not going to save any money. They, every time they get something, they're going to give it away to the alpha in their life who don't give a fuck about them and fuck off the rest of it. They ain't going to have shit. Look at that fucking redhead redemption bitch. Y'all remember that bitch I was talking about in that video a while back? I bet how much you want to bet. Look, because she didn't, just like I said earlier, she ain't finished school. She ain't never held no job. She's a professional tramp. All right? And that's not being offensive. Go look it up in the dictionary. I'm not being offensive with that shit. She is a professional tramp. So what is she gonna do, when her skin starts to sag? And she can't keep up with the young girls anymore. What is she gonna do? What she don't know how to do now. So at that point, she's gonna try to, suck the last dude's dick that she figures got some extra money and give her something and hope that lasts. But a lot of bitches can't even do that. A whole lot of them ain't gonna be able to do that. Cause guess what? Everything's on the internet. So guess where that last guy is, who she thought would be her beta chump? He's going off to be somebody else's beta chump and left her in the dust. Because look, the more years that go by, the more girls are figuring out, oh, if I just do my hair like this and go like in a camera, a motherfucker gonna send me some money. Look, all of them are adapting to this shit, dude. They're all adapting to it. So it's gonna bitches, because they getting that ride right now. They think it's gonna last forever. But it's not gonna last forever. This time 5 years from now, I guarantee you, it's gonna damn near double in Instagram tramps looking for money. Instagram tramps, OnlyFans tramps, TikTok tramps, all these Pornhub tramps, all these tramps. It's gonna double, dude. And see, and one thing that women are terrible at is keeping track of what makes anything valuable, right? When it comes to their actual livelihood. That's the one thing that women on average in the world suck at. So they're all going to go in there, and essentially what they're going to do is they're going to make the value of a diamond go down to fucking sand, and they're going to be fucked up. So in my opinion, what I think is going, like I said, I think what's going to have to happen is so many of them are going to end up fucked up to where they're going to have to play victim hard enough to where governments are going to say, okay, here, we'll just give you fucking housing now. We'll give you this fucking hospital, and all these rooms will be sanctioned off of your own room until you can find another chump to come take care of you. That's where I think it's going to head. I had a fucking pee. I think you should have the shower too. And I just had that long ass rant. They probably going to make it a crime to any man is not married. You're going to make him seem like he's a pedophile or something. Yeah. Well, yeah, Mr. Moji, that's exactly where it's heading now. That's exactly, I agree with you 1,000%. That's exactly where it's heading now. If you're a man and you're not worshiping the ground women walk on or have a woman with you, in a woman's mind, it's growing stronger every fucking day. It's growing stronger. You are an immediate creep loser who's possibly a pedophile or sexual abuser or manipulator. Something's severely wrong with you. I agree with you 1,000%. Because see, that's women projecting their social status onto man. You see, that's because in woman's mind, woman has to have a social circle. Woman has to have friends. She validates herself by who and what she knows. You see, so that's her putting that shit on to you, just like how men put that shit on the women, how like it's all about looks type of thing. That's. But here's the thing though. Women will essentially have more power because there's always going to be a beta chump who needs some pussy and is willing to do whatever she wants. So she's always going to get she's always going to get revalidated any and everywhere because of that. I gotta pee, man. Hussy House Social Program. I gotta pee. I'm gonna take a break. The audio should be working. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back in like 2 minutes max. And y'all can still hear me because I don't know how to turn it off yet.
Sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayaba, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayaba, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too?
You
Well,
guys
stay
still hear me
tuned.
because I don't know how to turn it off
My
yet.
name is Jamilia Musa Yaba Yaba.
I don't know how to turn it off yet. What is happening? Stop. Do you watch Think Before You Sleep? That sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is. Oh, wow. It's updating all the speech. Oh, that's cool. It kept it all in there. Because you didn't used to do that. Like the whole thing on the left side like that. It didn't used to do that. In the future, IG chicks are going to be severely miserable in the future, whereas dudes are going to be happier. Well, yeah, Mo, yeah, I agree. And my perspective on that is they're going to, like I said, the market's going to be filled with tramps at that point. It's going to be filled with them. So at that point, you know, the guys, once again, the guys are going to have all the, well, it's going to get down to the point where the guy, okay, relative to the individual woman in her mind of actually finding somebody to sit down with, the guys, it's going to grow to that point where the guys are going to learn, figure it out, and they're going to have all the options. Just like, was that Akon song with Lil Wayne? Where he say, I just had the line, let me think about it while I take a swig of beer. Oh, he said, he said, pimping got harder because hoes got smarter. And that's the trend of man and woman dynamic. The men kind of run this shit, and the women figure out ways to manipulate and get up there and become a challenge. Men figure it out and then get back above, and that's just a constant rotation. Right? Pimping got harder because hoes got sweetest girl. I love that song. Sweetest girl. She used to be the sweetest girl. It's Lil Wayne, Akon. Let me tell you, you told me cash rules everything around me, singing dollar dollar bill, y'all. Yeah, that was hot. Wyclef Jean, that's who did it. I still like this. I'm gonna play that. Like, I can't play it now because they're gonna turn my channel off. I'll play it in the background. They don't think I'm trying to get paid off of it. Best commercial ever. Hey, what are your thoughts on the why game works? What are your thoughts on why game works and what is game in terms of attracting women? Man, okay. So my thing is, okay, game, in my opinion, could be separated into two areas, right? My opinion of game is swagger, whether it's synthetic or genuine, right? Because a lot of guys have swagger, but it's not genuine. They had to learn it and figure it out. And other guys, which I think they call Sigma males, I think, or maybe even alpha males sometimes, the ones who genuinely have it because they just naturally just don't care. Like we just don't care about anything. We just don't care. Period. Now I'm not saying anybody's better or worse. I'm not trying to say that. But the game is more about just how you react to what she does, right? And how you let that affect you. And again, man, like every guy's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some. That's just what it is. Every guy's gonna win and lose. People only put on Instagram when they win. Well, I think now it's started to fade out, but people only talk about when they win. They don't really talk about when they lose. I told y'all stories when I lost. I was out in Vegas. The bitches turned me down from like 30 yards away. I told y'all those stories when I fucked up. Well, it wasn't even what I did though. I was just being me. Being me just fucked it up. Like just they bitches turned me down from literally 30 yards away. But in my man, game can be synthetic or genuine. That's my honest take on it. Game and I mean, but regardless, it's all game. But the thing is, like I think deeper what it is some guys I think for the ones who are synthetically making it's almost like borderline. It almost falls to the same theory as the black pill thing, where the issue becomes focusing too hard on it and driving yourself crazy about it and not just letting it go. And I think that's the difference between genuinely having game and synthetically having game, is when you genuinely have it, you can grow to a level of just not caring and moving on type of shit. Whereas like if you synthetically have it, you're like trying to employ you're more focused on employing specific tactics of what to do, you know? And I think that for me, like that's just my off the top of the dome explanation of it. Is it wise to pump and dump tramps at the workspace or just get where at the workplace? I wouldn't advise that, man. I mean, because on one hand it can work out, but on the other hand that go terribly wrong. All right, at the workplace, because see, with women, all they got to do is just when you are in a group of women like that, especially at your workplace, all they got to do is just because women they operate on that hive mentality shit, dude. All they got to do is just figure out, you know what, I don't like him, and then there you go, you out. You done. You getting fired. Women don't feel all a woman has to say is she don't feel comfortable working around you. That's all she has to say. And then you are immediately a creep, sexual predator, immediately. All a woman at your job has to do is say, I'm not comfortable around him. Done. That's it. No more questions asked. Because a woman's I wouldn't recommend that shit. I say stay the fuck away from her. If anything, just try to stay. I mean, you know, when she come around, give her some little fake smile and get the fuck out of there and just leave. Because again, all she has to do. I got a story about that. Actually, I got a story. And this was weird because it was almost like the same thing that happened to eat that pussy. But it happened to me, right? I'm not saying I fucked a 13-year-old girl, but the same dynamic happened. I was working as an ambassador in college, right? Because this is why I was tutored, but I got another job as an ambassador just to do something different. Well, I remember I would go upstairs to work in the office, and it was this older woman. She was like the boss, and I don't even know if this is true, right? I got hired by a guy who was like, we was about the same age. And because I was older when I went to school, but he had already had his bachelor's, so he got the job to run all the ambassadors, right? He had his own office and all that shit like that. So he was cool. And I remember when he brought this girl named Rachel. Her name was, it's a million Rachels, but her name was Rachel. And we talked about it. He said, yeah, like, oh man, like, Wendell, you should really see this. You should really see the new hire I just brought in. Like, I fucked the shit. Like, he was like honest, like completely honest with me. Like, we was talking about, how he wanted to fuck her, and she was hot and all this. I remember when I finally seen her, yeah, she was one of them hot, like, Asian Filipino mixed with white bitches. She's one of them. And she was older too. And she had a kid. I remember that. And because he had 2 kids. And his wife was like gorgeous too. In America, in Ohio. And his wife was gorgeous. And I remember Rachel ended up liking me. Because my girlfriend, the one who died of a heart attack, she came to me and said, oh yeah, she's crazy about you. And I'd never paid her attention because at the time, my girlfriend was the one when I was working as in tutorial as well. The girl, the beautiful girl. And she was like, oh yeah, Rachel's crazy about you. And I didn't think anything of it. I just kept moving. I just didn't think anything of it. So I remember his name was Ted. Ted came to me and said, well, what's going on, man? I don't know what's going on. Like her name, Janet, the boss, Janet said she's uncomfortable working with you and all this shit like that. I said, oh, well, that's all you had to say. I'll just quit then. I'm not coming back. And that was into that. I didn't try to fight her or anything. I didn't try to fight it. If you ever find Ted to this day, he'll tell you that's exactly what happened. He said, Janet said she feels comfortable. She said she feels uncomfortable around you, which I was never even around Janet. I only knew her by name and knew her by seeing her, but I didn't fight. I said, okay, look, I'm not coming back. I'm just not coming back up there. And that was it. And we shook hands and walked our separate ways and was gone. So after that, I had, gone off, got my bachelor's degree. I was off in grad school, and I was living next to the Whole Foods I told you guys about, where I lived, where the celebrities would come. Dave Chappelle used to come in there a lot too. In the Whole Foods next down in Centerville. Look at Centerville. There's a Sam's Club across the street. It's still there. That's where I used to live, and now it's called 1031, but it used to be called Governor Square. That's where I used to live. And I remember I walked in the Whole Foods, and I seen this girl. But she was fat. And she turned around, and guess who it was? It was Rachel. Right? This was years later. She had hit the wall, done. She had hit that wall. She smacked into that wall, was done. She was fat. All that figure was gone. All that shit was gone. Like, she was... And this is after I got back from Argentina, because I remember, because we was talking, I said, well, yeah, I told her, I just got back from Buenos Aires. I went on to study abroad. I go to University of Dayton, which University of Dayton in that area, that's kind of a big deal in that, in that area. And so once you go to UD, you the man out there type of shit, right? And she said, well, Wendell, did you know what happened with Ted, with me and Ted? I said, no, what happened? Because I knew, because Ted wanted to fuck her. I knew it, but I never said anything about it. So I said, no, what happened? She goes, and I'm not making this shit up. This is what she told me. All right. So take it with I'm not saying this is the concrete truth, but this is what she told me. All right. What she told me was Ted finally made it clear that he was trying to fuck her. And she was trying to get a better job. She was trying to get, get a real job at the college, not this bullshit ambassador shit. She was trying to get a real job. And one time she left her phone in his office while talking to him. And she, by this point, they were already exchanging nudes and all this shit, right? Like that. Well, he figured out the code to her phone and opened it and went through her phone and got even more nudes off her phone. And I forget how, she didn't explain how she found that out, but I think maybe he sent the nudes back to her or some shit like that. So she went and told campus police. Right? And after she told campus police, he got fired and he went to go work at University of Cincinnati. But when she told me the story, I'm thinking all that makes sense, because the story he fed me to get me out of there was like some chump bitch shit. Like, it didn't make any sense, but I wasn't gonna fight it, because once you, like I said, from Red Dead Revolver 1, if you start fighting with fools, that's the quickest way to become one. I didn't fight him. I just, okay, I'm leaving. But now looking back, the reason why he tried to get me out of there was probably because he was trying to fuck. He was trying to fuck Rachel, but it was known that Rachel actually liked me. But I was with the girl at tutorial service. It's like I wasn't even fucking with the bitch. She was a good looking girl, but I wasn't. I wasn't. I definitely was not trying. I was not calling her, texting her, none of that. Didn't even try to. Yeah, he went off and worked it. So that's the story I got. So if Ted, you ever see this video, that's the story I got. And that story makes sense with the intel that I have, from my beginning of the situation. AD, commercial time. But seriously, I would love to see you do a video explaining a woman's social circle involving her friends, the girls she don't like, a family, and how they all play their part. Yo, Mr. Moji, yeah, that's a good idea, man. And with that shit can play out different ways for different women. Red Dead Redemption. No, it was Red Dead Redemption. The first Red Dead, not Red Dead Revolver. Because I remember I liked Red Dead Revolver more, actually, Mario. I really care. I liked Red Dead Revolver more because the time when it came out and nothing else was really like it. But no, it was Red Dead Redemption. He said, I'm pretty sure, well, maybe I could be wrong because I've been drinking. And y'all know how I can, mix shit when I start drinking. I remember, I still felt bad about that one time when I thought it was, I was talking about Marvel movies. And I was going about Civil War instead of the Winter Soldier. I kept calling it Civil War. I still feel bad about that. Because I hate lying to motherfuckers or telling motherfuckers wrong shit. I still feel bad about that. Believe it or not. Oh, food's ready. Okay. Can we call in? Yeah, I'm gonna start the call-in show. I tell you what, man, that's a good question. Give me about 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna start a call-in show. I'm gonna go pee again and get the food and set up the call-in show. So give me about 10, 15 more minutes, and we're gonna do that. AD is Tyrone in the skies. No, I'm not Tyrone. Like I said, man, my confidence is so low, it's high. All right? Like Patrice O'Neal said, my confidence is so low, it's high. But no, Red Dead, I loved Red Dead. I didn't like Red Dead Redemption. I'm not a fan of John Marston. And anybody who I know, they love John Marston. I didn't. Arthur Morgan was my boy, but I didn't care for John Marston at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't care about his story at all, one bit. nothing personal about him. He just never really seemed like in my opinion, he always kind of felt like Iron Boy, like, you know, Tom Holland Spider-Man until now. I'm not going to, I hope I didn't spoil that, but he just kind of seemed like, you know, Iron Boy to me. He never really had his own full identity, you know. I just didn't care about, I don't know. It's just me. I loved Arthur Morgan. I still watch some of the scenes. One of my favorite scenes, one of my favorite arcs in that game, actually, funny enough, was when he got tuberculosis. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Tuberculosis. That's why I'm getting drunk now because I don't drink a lot anymore. That's like I'm getting, especially beer. But y'all remember when he got tuberculosis, and the husband, the husband already had it. That he tried to go, you know, take the money from. That's how he got tuberculosis, because he coughed on him, and that's how he got it. And the family ended up broke as fuck and fucked up. And the mom ended up, Arthur Morgan found him in another town and gave the mom a bunch of money and said, like, yo, just get the fuck out of here. Like, because I feel bad about doing that to your husband, beating him up and taking his money. So here, just take this. Like, I'm not a good man, but just take this money and leave. Just do it. Type of shit, right? So they take the money and leave. And then they end up in Louisiana. And he's walking down the street in a cutscene. And you hear this woman go, "Hey, stranger, want a good time?" And it's her. And she's a hooker. And she's telling motherfuckers to come arrest him and all this shit. That was one of my favorite storylines in that whole game, for real. Was that hooker storyline. That sub arc. That was gangster. I like that. How to call in. I'm going to send a Zoom link, if I remember how to even do Zoom. It's been so long since I've done it. I'm going to put a Zoom link out. Because it's 10:32 now, where I am. I'll probably stay on until like midnight, man. I ain't even on that tonight. Because it's Friday, so motherfuckers understand. Oh, yeah, because my girl, she in there cooking. She just heated up some carrot soup. She said, food's ready. Yeah, I love Arthur. I'm playing it again now. Mario, here's the thing, man. Like, I still got it because I bought it digitally when it came out. Because I was living in Chescalipa. And a game store was so far away, you be better off just buying it digitally up there. So I bought it digitally that night that and Spider-Man. I bought both of those digitally, like, you know, pre-ordered, which I rarely do that. But yeah, man, I that ending just like I can't, man. That's my boy. I grew too attached to Arthur Morgan. I can't go through that trauma again. That was my boy. You know what I'm saying? I can't go do that. It's still too soon. It's still hashtag too soon for that. That was an optional mission? Yeah, it was, Mario. Yeah. It was an optional mission, but I was so interested in it. Like, I had to, like, when I seen that, I forget what her icon was, Downness or something like that. Because she's actually in Grand Theft Auto 5. That golf course, I want to say, was it her? No, I don't think it was her. The golf course was after another character in Red Dead Redemption 2. The golf course of Grand Theft Auto 5, the name on that, Downs or something like that, it was taken from one of the women in Red Dead Redemption 2. I can't remember which one, because I've been drinking, so I'm going to fuck that up. I want to say it was hers, because she ends up leaving with a bunch of money. I can't remember what happens completely to her, but she ends up coming into a lot of money. And that golf course I want to say it was her, but I could be wrong. Is the gas problem in Europe affecting you in Czech Republic? Well, gas in Europe is always awful, man. Since I first came here, the shit was like, you know, where it's like worst case in America. Like, that's the thing, like the U.S. don't realize how good they got it with gas, for real. But also, America's like more built on needing gasoline. So they're using a lot more of it at the same time. But, the gas here, no, because I don't have gas in this flat. I got electric stove, you know, that electric water heat, whatever the fuck that shit is. I don't have gas in this flat. The gas in my car, I literally just drive. Now, I got a Ford Focus, and it costs like $75 to fill that Ford Focus up. In the U.S., it would have been literally less than half of that. Gas has always been fucked up in Europe, honestly. Well, in Czech Republic, it's always been higher than the U.S. Okay, let me say this, because I'm getting drunk. It's higher in Czech Republic than it is in the U.S. It's always been noticeably higher. Can you get around in Eastern Europe with Russian and English? Oh yeah, Scalamaster. Yeah, one of those two. Yeah. Now you're not gonna be like fluid getting through, but you'll be you'll be all right with that with Russian and English. Yeah. You like I said, you ain't gonna come across motherfuckers. You have better chance not coming across motherfuckers who's completely fluent. But you can get by with if you can speak both of those fluently, you get by for sure. Yeah. Hey D, remind of the groups for the makeup. I'm going to be traveling to the UK next week and staying for the rest of the year. Well, I tell you what, man. Just type. I'd say just go on Facebook and just try typing in like I don't know, because I don't know makeup that well, but just go just try different countries in Europe and just try like makeup in in Denmark or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like just go out there because your selling point is gonna be African, if I remember correctly, African American makeup artist who's a male. That's gonna be your selling point, dude. Your selling point is gonna be that. That's gonna put you in the rarity situation. That'll fuck around and get you ahead of the shit. So the groups, I would say, or just try expats in Italy, expats in France, expats in Germany, expats in Ireland, expats here, expats there, expats here, expats there, and just get to talking. Now we'll say this. Now, because here's the thing, I don't want to scare you, okay? But it's gonna be scary. But I don't want to scare you. Here's what I tell you to do on top of that. Because Europe is, okay, if you think scam artists are good in America, Europe is is on another level. All right, I'm going to be real with you. And I don't mean this to scare you. But as long as you, operate when you come to Europe, you have to operate like I've never been to prison, but from what I get from prison logic, like you have to operate like you're in prison. Operate like you. If a deal is too good to be true, all right, don't immediately get excited, all right. Or if you know what I'm saying, you got to walk in that motherfucker. It's hard to explain. You got to come here and just take the crash course, man, because it's not all rainbows. Now it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Like now, I never got like severely screwed over, but also I was lucky. Like I found my ex-wife at the time. Then I made great friends, so I knew what the reality was and what it wasn't, type of thing. So like I got to learn a lot quicker. So I tell you, man, if you come here, I'll definitely help you out. I'm not gonna leave you out. I'm not gonna leave you fucked up like that. All right. Now my life may catch up, and you may go a week or two without hearing from me, like some of the guys who flew here and met me from the channel already. Like my life may catch up and I may be just gone for about a week or two, just because I'm just exhausted and doing shit in my life. But when shit gets real, I'm totally not that type to just leave you fucked up. All right, you're not gonna be fucked up. I will guarantee that shit. You will not be fucked up. But I tell you what, man. Because okay, here's the thing that I find that a common situation, and I don't mean this to make fun of people who flew here to see me and shit like that, but a common situation that happens is from when guys come here from the U.S. from that side of the world and they come over here. They okay, from the Americas and everything north, south, and in between, our thing is just dressing in the most expensive shit all the time and making sure everybody knows we have money, because we've been conditioned in that American mindset, and everything else in between, right? And above us, because Canada's above us in between is the south of us, right? So what I've noticed is, and like I said, when I first came here, I didn't see it because it was me, but now I can see it. It's like, if you parade yourself like you have money, well, there's always that person who's looking to get it out of you. Perfect example was in the movie Rush Hour 2. Remember when Chris Tucker first goes with Jackie Chan to that masseuse parlor which is pretty much, it's a brothel. And Chris Tucker is trying to talk to the Asian girl. He's like trying to be slick and all that shit. And she responds, "Well, do you have American money?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got American money." And she goes, "Oh, right this way." Like, motherfuckers will tell you anything to get in your pocket. All right? Anything. So I tell you this. For the guys who flew here and met, if y'all are watching, definitely, man, don't hesitate. Let them know that, like, I am not gonna leave you fucked up with shit like that. And if anything, I'm gonna tell you to not fuck with them bitches because they probably on some ridiculous shit. All right. And I'm getting drunk, so I forgot. Are you in Denmark? Oh, word. Meetup had some good expat groups in France. Word. Yeah, we pay 25% tax on car. Word. I have a cow. I have a cow worker. She weighs 90% on her. Oh, I see. Okay, you have a cow worker. She weighs 90% of her wage on fashion. Yeah, I'm not like that. Anyways, I just dress normal. Yeah, because man, like the hustler slash scam shit in Europe. I'm telling you, man. If you think it's bad in the U.S., because the U.S. the bitches there are just so stupid, you'll be able to smell it, a mile away. But yo, the hustler scam shit out here, I was just lucky. All right. I'm not trying to say I was like super smart or anything. I was lucky. All right. And ended up with, with good people, good friends, and good people I know. Motherfuckers that got me, motherfuckers that had my back, all that shit. Like I got lucky. But the scams and shit that bitches will run on you out here as a man is ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying my girl was one of these bitches, but we talked about it, right? We talked about her time. She used to work in the center, right? And here's the thing: these women, they know exactly what you're doing. They know what you're doing when you come here. She used to work in the center with this like blacksmith group or something like that, and we talked about it. And she said that she's seen. Okay, the women here, they know that guys come from the UK and the US to come here to get cheap beer and women. They know it. It's no secret. You're not beating the system by coming here and doing this shit, right? And like I said in that last live stream with the black dudes, talking about something, he's setting the rules. No, you ain't setting the rule, dude. And this is directly towards him. No, you think you setting the rule. But you ain't setting the rule. Look, women know the rule. They knew the rules when you was running Hot Wheels and the concrete walls. All right, they was learning the rules back then. All right, you just think you gonna verbally set a rule, and they'll just lead you on. Yeah, testosterone will fuck you up as a man in this world, man. So my girl says when she used to work in the center, she said. That she just put the math together. Guys, they're coming here. They're coming from these, richer countries, whatever the fuck, and they're just drinking. They're just getting wasted. So what are they really here doing? They're coming here to find women to fuck, and they know what you're doing. Not anybody I'm talking to, like specifically from anything I just read off. But like they know what the men are doing. Like these bitches in these poor countries, they know the game, dude. You ain't gonna beat the system with that. All right. So my advice to you is if you gonna try it, I mean, know that they know the game, but at that point, just look for a decent human, a decent spouse, somebody who's doing something, decent for you, who's gonna actually be, like I said, be a decent human, a decent spouse. Because that game shit. Guys be thinking they running, especially like I'm not saying not the U.S. guys not the guys who flew here to see me, but a lot of guys who end up here from the U.S. they thinking they running some games on these bitches. No, bruh. No, these bitches got Instagram too. They got Facebook too. They watching Robert Downey Jr. jump off that 35-story building to save Gwyneth Paltrow too, and they putting that math together just like you did with them tits and that ass and makeup on the girl down the street. They did the same math. They know what you gonna do. You ain't beating the system. They know what that game is. They know exactly what it is. At that point, like I said earlier, at that point, I would say your best bet is to figure out what a decent human is and the effort that she's gonna put in as a human, and is she just being a good human to you at that point? That's what I recommend. Anybody else in Denmark? No, I'm not in Denmark. I'm not gonna forget to call in. I'll probably be fucked up by the time I started. Actually, yeah. Let me go take one more bathroom break. I'm gonna get this suit and then start to call in. No, I'm not aiming at you, CD. I'm not saying that name anymore. Yeah, change that name, dude. CD. What are you studying, by the way, CD? You say you in medicine, or you want to get your doctorates. So okay, so yeah, let me go take a break. I see you, Mo. They good at interpersonal relationship. Yeah. I'm gonna go piss and take and get some of this soup out the other room. I got my other donut sitting right here. I ain't gonna touch it. I'm gonna get that soup. So I'll be right back. And y'all can still hear me when I put this ad on, because I don't know how to turn off the audio. It's where you guys can hear it and you know what I'm saying, but it doesn't take my voice in at the same time. So here we go.
Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit.
Can you just pour me like a smidgen of beer? Just a smidgen. You haven't
Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, and I can teach you how to have rich men want to fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit.
Say bye-bye. You have to yell it, because they can hear you.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you want to be like me and have rich men want to fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayavayava, And I can teach you how to have rich men wanna fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck? Do you stink? Do you smell bad? Are you bad at dressing? Well, pay attention to my quick and easy steps on how to get men, rich men that is, to fuck you, or at minimum, buy you shit. Ooh, girl, I am rich and I am sexy. Don't you wanna be like me and have rich men wanna fuck you too? Well, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Jamilia Musayayabayana, and I can teach you how to have rich men wanna fuck you too. Are you ratchet as fuck?
All right, we back. Got my soup. I got so much stuff. I got a donut, beer, soup, napkins. I got a maneuver. Your girl funny. That is hilarious word. No fashions though, especially I'm learning about. Okay, I'm behind on that. I got this soup. Y'all see that? It's carrots. She makes this soup with carrots and soy sauce. It's great. I just sort of say hello and that I'm the greatest. But she was standing like back there. You couldn't, yeah, you probably couldn't hear her. All right, so let me find my Zoom. Oh, you're in podiatry, okay. Oh, so you do, okay, you doing the foot shit. Yeah, I'm connecting my Zoom now. Give me like, you are connected to computer audio, okay. So, it's been so long since I've done this. Okay, invite. Copy invitation. So I'll tell you what, this is what I'm gonna do. Been so long since I've done this. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. I put the Zoom link out. So now I gotta remember, how do I fucking remember to see this shit? Oh, okay. I ain't using so long. I gotta remember how to do it. All right. All right, yeah, all right. Let me see. Make sure I keep this. Okay, there we are. I'm not hating and just thought she had an accent. All right, quit being hair. Oh, yeah. Well, no, her accent's really good, to be honest. You really can't hear it. Because she speaks 3 languages. She speaks Italian, Czech, and English. Yeah, and her accent's really great, by the way. I mean, you don't... Is that... I'll put in Patreon. What's up, Lorenzo? Well, no, her accent is great. You know... But it's just that thing, you know, I remember I told my dad that me and my girl, we was talking, and I said, this tastes real greasy. And she's like, what? Greasy, you know, greasy. Okay, it's like oily. You know, like the little. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this earlier today too. How in English, like we use so many different words or so many words that we just don't need to use. Oh, here we go. I got a Zoom call in. We use so many words that we just don't need to. We have so many words that we use that we just don't need to use that it's really pretty crazy. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Let me see. My audio on? Yeah. Make sure I got everything right. Can you hear me? I can hear you moving. Yo, what's up, man? Let me start the video. That way we got like a synonymous. There we are.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Chilling. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me turn off the live stream on my computer real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear you. I was just turning off my live stream coming from my computer side.
Right on.
That's man. How you been, man? Chilling, same old?
Same. Yeah, man. I'm chilling. Eating this carrot soup right now. I don't even like, you know what? I don't even like carrots. But she's the only person who's ever cooked carrots to where I can actually eat them.
Mm-hmm.
I hate carrots. Even when I try to cook them, I don't like them.
So you told me about the beef one, right? You live stream. You were talking about the beef. And you like a soggy and shit. Like, you know, you like hella soft.
Yeah.
For me, I'm the complete opposite. I like my beef like chewy. Like I gotta chew on my beef. Otherwise, I don't like it soggy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite.
That's on my family was they like my immediate family. They was on that. They liked it where it was like, you know, they want to saw this shit and chew it for a minute and all. That just I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm fucked up.
Maybe, I don't know, because I like this that chewing, because I like to chew on my food a lot. I have the bad habit of chewing on shit. So if it's soft, like, I don't know why, I just don't, it feels like baby food, you know what I'm saying? I like my shit like crunchy, chewy. You know what I'm saying? Like that soft, like, you know, I like, because if it's too chewy, I mean, not too chewy. If it's too soft, I eat it too quick.
Okay. Because
You know
it's
what I'm
soft. Yeah, it's just, you know, putting in work in to eat it.
Yeah. Because when it's chewy, then I know like how much I eat. Otherwise, I eat too quick or too much. So I gotta.
Do you like sushi?
Yeah, I like sushi, but I fucking demolish that shit, bro.
Okay. Is you just scarf it down. You just
Yeah, it's just like one by one. I just put the soy sauce or like, you know, the wasabi shit. Boom, it's down. The next thing you know, I'm paying $50.
Oh yeah. Now the good part about where I'm at is you can get all you can eat sushi for, and it's you know, it's that good certain type of quality sushi. You get it for about $16. But it's a good quality sushi. It's not bad, but it's not, you know, the best. Like, you know, I don't know if you're like really into it, but like, you know, it can be they can season it to where it's like fucking perfect, you know.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to sushi, like all I do is just get the cheapest one. Because right now, you know, everything's through the roof. You know, rent fucking expensive. You know, gas is fucking expensive. Gas in Cali is like, it was going up to $5.15 for a gallon of gas. And then now it's like going down to $4.40, $4.30. So, you know, everything's expensive, you know. And then the job doesn't pay that well. So, you know, you're trying to figure out on how to, you know, manage your budget and shit. So
I'm with you. Yeah. You know, that's about what the gas. No, hey, Cali is a whole different. California and New York City, man. That's a whole different monster to fight, man. So like, you have all my respect for doing that shit. Like,
yeah. So right now, you know, I'm transitioning careers. So because, you know, I wanted to apply to medical school and PA school, right, physician assistant.
Okay.
And then I was looking at the loans. Dude, the loans are fucking ridiculous, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like all them prices and shit.
Yeah. What schools were you looking at?
So, oh, just like any medical school that'd take me, or any PA school that would take me. You know, my grades weren't too good. I had like 3 something, and my MCAT was all right. So like, you know, I had a low chance of getting in the first place.
Okay.
So I was just like, you know what? I know I'm not gonna get in. So I was just looking at different options right now. So, you know, right now I'm just looking into tech and, you know, learning some programming skills just to, you know, move up and something like that. You know, just getting a database job or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you, have you ever considered trying? Maybe I mean, hey, first I say this, man. Like, do whatever you do, but I'm just gonna try to throw out, you know, like a random idea. Have you ever considered maybe, you know, looking into going to, you know, even I say Charles University here, or like applying to schools out in Europe, because the price for college for the price for universities out here are much lower, but you're gonna have to relocate.
Oh, but you know, to be honest, like I've been working in the medical industry for like 2 years now.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can work in a hospital any longer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like all the, like, you know, you gotta deal with the bullshit patient. I mean, the patients are cool and nothing, but like, you know, all the politics, you know, just being in the environment for like, you know, so many years, I was just like, you know what, maybe it's not an option for me.
Okay.
You know, because the thing is that, you know, I want to be comfortable where I'm working, you know what I'm saying? So when I realized that, you know, the IT field or the tech field, you could work wherever you're from, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different avenues from the tech. So I was just like, okay, and that too, you don't really need that many skills. You know, you could adapt, you could learn, you know, a skill in a couple months and, you know, be at a job.
Yeah, I just got a Patreon subscriber. I don't say his name, CE. Thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate it. But no, that's cool. Hey, life is crazy, man. I would say definitely, you know. Oh wow, that's really fucking big. I didn't see that. Wait, well, okay, it's gonna lag, so you're gonna see it in a minute, because we in real time, but the YouTube stream is like probably about 20 seconds behind. Huh?
I know it's like a couple seconds behind. I hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, no, that's cool though, man. So, oh yeah, I would tell me about, if you feel comfortable, tell me about the because the females and where you work.
Oh, bro, let me. Yeah. So I can't. You know, hopefully you can keep my. You know, like I don't know if you can keep this on Patreon, that would be cool. But you know, I don't want everyone saying this shit. But like, yo, dude, let me tell you this, bro. Like,
well, I tell you what. Hey, look, no, they can't see you. They can only see me.
Okay, that's cool. Because I don't want no fucking, you know, I don't want to get in trouble or nothing. But all I gotta say is that, bro, the amount of cheating that goes on, bro, the amount of fucking, you know, doctors be fucking on the nurses, bro. The fucking nurses be fucking cheating on everybody. Like, you say, let's just say this, right? You say you got a nurse as a wife, bro. I say, I pray to Jesus every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if she's cute.
Yeah.
It's a wrap, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If she's cute and she's a nurse or she's a CNA, I'm telling you this, bro, she getting hit on by every dude, the custodian, the doctor, tech, you know, every dude that walks in.
Yeah.
So she can literally pick which one she wants to cheat on that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, if you say you have a wife as a nurse, bro, I'm just saying good luck, man. Like, you know, it's going to be tough to, you know, just assume that she's being cheating. That's what I would say, you know, especially in America, where if you like a good, like, you know, if you say you were like, you know, just like attract a white woman in America and up there, you know, she has endless options, bro.
You have the world available. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You got the world available to you. If you're an attractive white woman, you know, skinny, took a bath, straightened hair, put on, you know, gave half a fucking care about your makeup. Oh yeah, you got the whole. You got everybody to pick from.
You know what's funny is I go to the hospitals and then, you know, I have like this old ass males like 40 to 50 and they're always hitting on me constantly. And it's just kind of weird because it's just like, you know, they're old, they have like kids too. Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you don't have that. It's different when like an older woman hits on you because it's just like, you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I could fuck you, but it's just weird.
Yeah. Because okay, from my experience, it's almost like, okay, I'll be honest. From my experience, it's almost like I felt like I should be following them.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It doesn't feel right. It just feels like like she's your mom that you're fucking. It's just weird.
Yeah. But they really want you to like be the like it felt like I should be following them, but they are like trying to push me into kind of taking control over everything.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to do it because she's old. Because she's old. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like especially like recently, like I've been talking to this like this old woman that has like 2 kids at the gym, and she's like super flirtatious with me. But it's just weird because every time I'm talking to her, it just like you know what I'm saying? Like we don't even address like the husband situation. We just talking and shit. But it's just so weird because she's like expecting me to be in in a leader role, but I'm just like, but her daughters are close to my age.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah,
it's weird.
yeah. And you know, it's crazy because I was just talking to my dad about a similar situation like this earlier today, man. It's like because yeah, when they get older like that, they end up in a real tough situation. It's almost that scenario where it's like the more success that they got in their life, you know, on any level, like the worse it is because it's like okay, it's like she knows that she just like okay, like we said earlier, she knows that she can't compete because there's always that cuter one who's younger who can just have their pick of whoever they want whenever they want them. So she does like so she'll get discouraged from dealing with that guy. So now she's trying to like fake in a way like she's trying to turn you into that guy for her, but she's really fucking like she should be the leader with you. It's just a really weird situation.
So one time I said I got manipulated by an older woman, right? So that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And she was 27, I was 22, and she showed me her ex, and her ex looked exactly like me.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was just pretty much like she was just trying to create her ex and me.
Yeah.
But that's before like that's before like I just got in. That's before you taught me about everything. But when you're 22 or 21, you really don't know shit. Like you're just like a blind motherfucker, just walk into the world.
Yeah, all that manipulation shit. Yeah, you just don't see it. And even if you do, it's like, oh well, at least I got a girl who, some girl who would talk to me and deal with me. So it's like you just be ready to just take it. You know what I'm saying? Like in those years. Yeah, man, it's those scars. And I tell you what, like that's the part that I really try to stress to guys in here, man. It's like, you gotta go through that as a man. You have to go through that phase of being fucked up. Like that's what's gonna make you more, content. What I say, content, aware of the reality, and overall just like better in dealing with this shit.
Yeah, because what's called the older I get, recently I've just been taking, a lot of L's recently, but it's what it is what it is. But every time I take an L, it's just like you learn something about yourself, or you learn, you know what I'm saying, just a little bit more about yourself and how to deal with the L. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people want, a lot of people don't consider the L's. They always want the W. I want to win. I want to win. But I'm like, bro, how many losses you have to have before you get a big W?
Yeah. The L's really are more. Well, honestly, the L's are more important, man. Because like any dude can accidentally stumble into a win. You know what I'm saying? For whatever the fuck. Because here's the thing. The reality when you deal with bitches is you gonna win a lot of times for things that are out of your control, and you gonna lose a lot of times for things that are out of your control, right? Like a lot of if any man was to really sit back and really think in depth on the reality of the whole situation, most of the decision making was really based off of that woman and what went on in her head and shit that you could have never known. You could have never known the day she had before that.
Like sometimes the best lesson, not the best lesson, but what I've been practicing recently is just having no expectations on people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just like, when I had no expectations on people, it just made my life a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it is what it is. And then you just carry on. It's so much more easier to have literally no expectation, just be like, okay, you know, expectations is pretty much extra credit at this point. So I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah. And I tell you what, the expectation. Here's the thing, and what I had to learn personally. I'm just speaking strictly on my, you know, from how I dealt with it, was I had expectations for people that I didn't even realize that I had for people. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even realize that I had certain expectations, and I'd be let down. But the thing is, it's a weird situation because I didn't even realize that I would be let down by it. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just you know, especially like you know when you have friends, like you know, close friends, and you expect them to do something.
Yeah.
Right, and then you know they're not able to do it. You just feel a little let down, but you just have to realize that you know they have their own life and they have their, you know, their own problems that you can, you know what I'm saying. So
Sure. Yeah, and then,
but, oh, let me. What's it called? You know how you were talking about the EDP and the, you know, the first.
Oh yeah. EDP, he fucked up, man. He fucked.
You know, I fucked up definitely, but like you know, I understand what you know what I'm saying. Like you, like if you even you know talk about why he did it or his psychology behind it, like you know, it's a tough topic on YouTube. You know, if anybody says, you know what I'm saying, if anybody wants to delve, you know, into his side or his, you know, going into his brain on why he did it, because for me, I'm just like, you know, even yeah, he did, of course, you know, something wrong. You know, a killer, you know, kills people, but like, why does he kill people? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going in his head that does it? That's curious for me, because you know, a lot of people do commit crime. Don't get me wrong, but like, why did they commit crime? Why did they scam? Why did they kill? Why did they do this? You know what I'm saying? Because there's always a logic to something. You know what I'm saying? There's always a reason for something.
I'm with you. Yeah, and here's the thing. Okay, this topic kind of goes into what. Okay, I can't remember if I talked about it in a video, but I remember I was with my girl. We was talking about it in the kitchen how like when I was younger, man. When I was younger, I used to always bring up topics like maybe not so much about the sex thing, but like you know about the red pill realities and shit like that. I used to always bring this shit up when I was a kid, but living in Ohio, man, like people just wasn't on that wavelength. So it's like you were not to be respected until you had already become something. And in my opinion of it, when it comes to this, like with the topic, like how you say, like, you know, well, why is this killer doing it? Ask these deeper questions. What I found in you know, in my experience is like, well, like I said earlier with the EDP dude, people don't know how to think. And even if they do know how to think, if once they break out of that, you know, that mental, you know, fucking wall of learning how to think independently, will they have the courage to own what they think independently in an actual real life setting of conversation? That's a whole different level of growth. So like so to ask the question, okay, like why do these killers do what they do? Why do like legit pedophiles do what they do? Why do fucking like to dive deeper? That's gonna scare 90% of the population because they don't want to be seen as like, you know, oh, I'm advocating this shit just because I'm asking the question. So in reality, the only place you're gonna be able at best to get away with it, and when I say get away with, because that's just how society is gonna, you know, push it on you. The best way that I've seen to get away with actually legitimately asking questions is if you go into some kind of psychology field.
Okay. Because you know, when I was thinking about the EDP situation, my grandma got pregnant at 16. So I'm just like, you know, back then, you know, especially, you know, let's just say like 80 years ago, you know, it was common for, you know, just 16 to 17-year-old women just to get pregnant, right?
Oh yeah.
From like 25-year-old man. And I'm like thinking, so what made it, like, who decided that it was immoral, or you know what I'm saying? Just like, who decided that at this age it's it's acceptable, you know what I'm saying? But now they're like pushing back, you know, if I get with an 18-year-old woman, I'm like, you know, considered, oh, you can't keep up with grown women, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, honestly, yeah. When it comes to that, it's like my opinion is that's older women who are just intimidated by younger women. So they'll just use that as the argument. Yeah, like you can't keep up with a woman who's, you know, older and all this stuff. And that in my opinion, like from what I see on Facebook when these conversations come up with a guy who cheated on his wife with a, you know, an 18-year-old girl, these women will always use whatever sexual demeaning word they can to the man. Like he's a pedophile because he fucked with a 19-year-old girl. You know, he must like little girls. Like as a man, like I mean, it's fucked up to say it, man. But that's just the reality of being a man. Like the only way women in the world know how to tear you down is to attack your, you know, your what's the proper word? Ability to be admirable as a man. That's their only way to tear you down, which is usually gonna come down to the size of your dick, or are you a strong man, or you know something sexually. Other than that, they don't even know how to attack you. They just don't. If you ask a woman to legitimately, interpersonally attack you, she doesn't know how to do it. She can't. All right. It's gonna come back to you being a man. You got a small dick, or you don't have a girlfriend. Something has to do with sex. That's all she knows.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at this point, you know, just dealing with them, you know, on the apps and, you know, on a daily basis, it's just like, you know, sometimes, you know, I can understand why you just, you know, you have to go to a different country. Because, you know, especially here where, you know, I call, you know, San Francisco is pretty much Mount Olympus of bitches.
You say where? San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco is like Mount Olympus of bitches. Like they can pick anything they have. They have like the whole, you know, playing field. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you're attractive woman here, like you could find a man in a second. It's not even that difficult.
See, California always okay. I don't say because I didn't live there. I only traveled there. But I just got a bad feeling about California. Honestly, I did. I wasn't throughout all of California by no means, but like the vibe that I got was and people say this in the US, like they say like on the East Coast, people will appear mean, but they'll help you carry something up a flight of stairs, whereas in California, people will appear nice, but they ain't doing shit. They ain't gonna help you carry nothing.
That's pretty much, you know, a lot of especially depends because it's very not segregated how I say it. Like there's a lot of like sections, you know what I'm saying? So like you got Richmond, you got Oakland, you got Hayward, you got San Leandro, you got, you know, the Tri-Valley. Like within 20 miles, you could have a whole different culture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's very complicated, and especially in California. But since, you know, everything's connected and, you know, everything is, you know, you can just go by car and shit, that, you know, just dealing with, you know, just dealing with people, not dealing with people, but dealing with girls it's going to be tough around here. You know, just assume that, you know, for me, what I realize is that, like, you know, even if she cheats on me, you know, whatever, like, it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she has the whole world by her fingertips, like, you know, her phone. Like, I was looking at my girl's phone. Not my girl's phone, but like, you know, girl's phone. Mm-hmm. And she had 30 dudes on Snapchat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the red square, like, you know, open, like not open, but she didn't even open it. She had 30 dudes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then 100 on Instagram. Then she had 15. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she has like at least, you know, let's just say if you're like a 6 or 7 out of 10 female in California, you probably have at least 50 to 60 guys on tap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know which guy that I know of in my hometown, or not in my hometown, but in, you know, most of Bay Area. Like if you're just like, you know, just the average dude that's making, you know, 70 to 80K, you know what I'm saying? Like go to the gym. Mm-hmm. You possibly have like 2 or 3, you know what I'm saying? At max. Okay. Sure. But you're nowhere near. Like you can't even compete. It's like a whole different ballgame.
That's yeah, man. That's rough, man. I'm not laughing at. I'm not laughing. Here's the thing. When I start to chuckle at this shit, I'm chuckling at is because I remember my life in Ohio, which is nothing compared to California, but I'm remembering just that U.S. culture, man. That U.S. culture of just like of women having all the fucking power. And it's just like nothing you could do. It's really nothing you could. I mean, of course you can work out and blah 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 da da da. But you know, they just had it's all the power, and they like you said, like they got all the. Well, every woman around the world when they're in that age group, that's their prime. They got all the choices.
especially here, like even let's just say you do happen to have a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have a girl, I'm just saying that you have countless dudes approaching her. You got countless dudes saying what's up on the gram. That like, you know, for your mental health, in my opinion, I would just say, you know, just don't even check her phone.
Just don't check. Yeah.
Like, don't even check your phone. Don't even
Yeah.
like without realizing that if you have a girl here, just assume that she's extra credit, and then, you know, just be ready to leave at any second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's for your mental health.
Yeah.
Because the moment you start caring, bro, then all the mental health, all the anxiety, all the depression kicks in. So for my mental health, I'm like, you know what? I got extra credit. It can go by any second. That's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I'm totally with you. I totally agree with that, dude. Like, because I don't know if you heard me mention it before. Like, you know, if you go through a girl's phone on her Tinder, oh my God, or Facebook,
Dude, no, I did. Dude. Bro, let me tell you this. If a dude sees a woman's phone, bro,
you're done. Yeah. It's like,
I'm laughing because it's like let's just say this, right? Most dudes that have their phone, right?
mm-hmm.
If they tap on the screen right now, they maybe have 2 messages at max.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Like, or maybe 5, 10. Okay, maybe 10. But these women, bro,
Oh, it's all, yeah. Doesn't stop.
doesn't
Instagram,
stop.
what, all the apps, regular text messages, Facebook, it doesn't all the apps, dude. Yeah. If, you
And then
know,
you know what's funny? It's like other manosphere guys, like, if you work out, if you get a 6-pack, if you if you make 300K, if you do this, then you can land yourself a 5 out of 10 woman.
yeah. And then on top, man, okay, and then with that, man, like, when it comes, okay, when I did that Black Pill series, I tried to focus more on like the well, at one part I tried to focus on the reality of, like, let's say okay, as a guy, let's say you do go out and get these girls, well, okay, what in the end, like, there is no real heaven in finding a spouse like that.
Yeah, 100%.
There is no real, I think there's a lot of material out there that's trying to feed off of man. I think there's a lot of material out there that's trying to feed off of the usual man's dream of finding that heaven.
Mm-hmm.
That it just doesn't. I mean, if it exists for a little while, but you got to deal with this human. What kind of, you know? Me and my dad spoke about. I was on the phone with my dad earlier for about 2 hours, and we talked about this. You know, like a lot of women miss that part of. It's really the woman's issue. Like they focus on being pretty, but they don't know how to actually be a spouse, how to be a partner. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, you know, most of the girls here, they know how to, you know, get their $100 eyelashes, you know, them $100 20 nails.
Mhm.
They're excellent. They can tell you the point. A66 turquoise.
Oh, the exact number and shit. Yeah.
The exact number. They know which nail technician to go to. But if I tell them, hey, can you just make me, you know, roast beef sandwich? Oh, what's that?
Oh yeah. They ain't touching. Huh?
They're good at pointing out which nail technician is the best. You know, the best dude, the best design. They know which eyelash tech does the best eyelashes. You know, the caterpillars. You know what I'm saying? The extra millimeter. They know which eyebrows to get.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? They know which foundation to put on. They're excellent at that. I'll tell you that. They know how to spawn on. They can sit a mile away.
Oh yeah. That's prostitute shit. That is straight hooker shit, man. like that shit is.
Like, at this point, you know, it's my best thing is that, you know, when I see a girl with nails, I'm like, who's your nail tech? She did a bad job. I think you need to get a new one. And then they're like, what they're freeze. You know, the computer process is like slow down.
That it was fucked up. Yeah. like,
you know what I'm saying? If you wanna ever troll a girl,
yeah,
I would just say, oh, your eyelashes, they don't look too good. Maybe you need to go to a different
check her. Yeah. Whatever she did, it wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
They'll come back the next week. They're pointing out, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy just to troll a girl. Like, if you really, guys, if you want to be petty, just say her foundation is awful. It doesn't match your skin tone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always awkward to see the pictures like that too, where the face doesn't match like the shoulders and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm saying? Like their neck, like what's it called? They have like a whole different like color on their face, right? And it would be just like a whole shade darker, and then it would be light.
Yeah, it's just completely off. Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous for sure, man. Yeah. Hey man, hey, it's going 11:30. I got 2 people in the waiting room, man. So I'm gonna try to get everybody before I get off here. This is 11. It's 11:26 p.m. where I am now.
Yeah, bro. I'll be talking too much. So I'm gonna let you know that.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, it was great talking to you, man. Appreciate it for real. You great, man. And I love your perspectives on California. I love how you can educate me on that shit for real, man. Because
But if you want any other questions, so like I have, because for me, like I have like, I dealt with so many races, like Mexicans, whites, blacks, Indians and Asians, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So there's so many different areas and sections. Like California is like almost like segregated, where the white people live in certain areas, the black people live in certain areas, the Mexicans live in certain areas, the Indians live in certain areas, right? That that their culture and their perspective is completely different from another. You know what I'm saying? You could travel from a house to house and you could have 2 different cultures.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you dealt with different cultures, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. For examples, like them hijabi girls that wear the hijab.
Sure.
So they're very manipulative, right? So they wear the hijab, right? They wear the hijab to be Muslim and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong, dude. They have like their own, drinking parties. You know what I'm saying? They're not supposed to drink. They'll be talking to guys on the low. Mm-hmm. And the best one is that, if you ever see a hijabi girl, their dating is pretty much going to the library.
Okay.
Because them, you know what I'm saying? Like if they want to, if they want to study, they say, oh, let's go to the library, right? So you go to the library, and then you just pretty much just like flirting and shit right there, because they can't be shown in public with another guy, right? So they're gonna find ways to deceive other people.
That's yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And and then you have like this white girls, and you have Latinos. Like there's a big Latino population, and there's a big white population, and there's a big black population, and all those women move differently.
Sure.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you dealt with so many different races, you know how to like deal with it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and again, with it being out in California, that is a whole I would love to hear more about this shit, man. We should like do like a segment together with this shit, so you can educate me and other men about this shit, because that's
the only area, since I was an EMT, so like I went through so many neighborhoods. Like I've been to so many parts of California because it's part of my job, right? That I know a lot of California, and I know a lot about the culture only in the Bay Area. So you know what I'm saying? Like all the way from San Jose to San Francisco to Richmond to Vallejo. You know what I'm saying? From all to Sacramento, that's the region where I know. So, but if I go south, to what's called to LA, I have no idea what's it like.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? There's different sections. So like for me, if you ask any questions about LA, I have no idea.
Okay.
Because I never lived there, and I don't know. And that too, I heard about LA. The thing about LA is that it's a lot more segregated. Like you know what I'm saying? Like where you have like a strict, like black side, or you have a strict suburban side, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you have small communities, a mixture, right? But there's a lot of race that plays part in SoCal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's complicated. Like I think a person from SoCal can explain it a little bit better. But, a person from SoCal that only lived in a certain section of SoCal can only explain his section.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because, imagine, you just only lived in one town. You can only explain the culture in that town. You can't explain the culture from a different town.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what when it comes to California, there's so many different communities, so many different factions in California that it's complicated. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still live in America. So, dating is on hard mode as usual. So
Oh yeah, ultra hard mode for sure. Yeah, that shit's on ultra hard. Yeah, that's just awful. I feel
but besides,
huh?
but besides the women, it's just like the whole, how do you, like there's like the cultures, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you be a part of the culture and deal with it? That's like you know what I'm saying? It's like the women are one thing, but like there's a little bit, there's more to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, right on. Hey, yeah, man, yeah, I'm gonna let you go, man.
Oh yeah,
It was great talking to you because my Zoom's running out, and now I done got like for real like legit sleepy. Like not from you, but like because it's 11:30 where I am now. If you don't believe here, it's 11:30. Well, I don't want here, so
Yeah,
I see
I
his
got
name.
you.
But yeah, wait, can you see that? It's 11:30
Yeah.
where I am. I legit just got tired.
I believe you, dog.
And I've been drinking and shit. So yeah, hey, my bad to the two weight in the weight room, man. I'm gonna try to do a live stream maybe tomorrow night or something. Maybe tomorrow night, not tomorrow night, definitely by Monday or Tuesday, man. I just got like super like. Well, but I don't know if you okay. The last live stream I told you how I was drinking. Like my system is super sensitive to coffee, and if I drink a cup of coffee, dude, like I don't sleep right for the. Fuck, man, and I haven't slept right for the last 2 nights, huh?
For like, I want to keep talking to you, but there's so many, because since you live in Czechoslovakia, right? Like,
yeah,
how were you able to communicate? That's like, you know what I'm saying? You said you lived in Ohio, right?
Cincinnati, yeah.
That culture is completely different. Like, you lived in a small community, and then you traveled to a whole different country.
Mm-hmm.
You don't speak the language.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious, how the hell did you survive? Like, think about it. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't understand how difficult that is because you can't even communicate in their language. Like, you can't speak Czech.
Well, okay, here you'll find people who can speak English. It's not going to be fluent, and that opens up this whole. We got about 6 minutes left on this call, by the way. So if it cuts off, it's not me at Zoom. But
that's fine.
But the first big step was to realize that okay, yeah, well, like we do speak English, but we speak American, more local English, right? Mm-hmm. So we use a lot of words that just aren't necessary. And that was a hard thing for me to we speak so fast and on a certain rhythm that we don't notice it because we from the US. We don't notice it. But they will. Like my girl, she like I get to talking too fast and sometimes I know
it's like Spanish. Like, when you speak to a native, like, Latino, they're like, you know what I'm saying? They go so fast. I'm like, hold up, slow down.
Yeah. And on top of that, they're using like their own, they'll use like, okay, I never spoke to many Spanish people on that level, but like they'll on top of like just speaking fast, they'll use their own, additions in the shit. And like I never noticed that, dude. Like when I first came over here, never noticed it. So I remember it took some months after me learning a little bit of their language and then comparing it. So I think like, okay, how would I say, how would I can't think of anything, but like how would I say like a certain phrase in English? I would say, I would say like blah 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 blah. But in Czech, you just literally say blah blah, like. It bad. You don't say like it is bad. You say it like to špatně is like it's like it is like to is it. To yeah is okay. This might be too much, but to is it is. Špatně is bad, but you don't say. I might be incorrect because I'm fucking tired now. But you don't say to je špatně like it is bad. You just say like it bad, like to špatně. It's bad. Okay. So I had to learn that. It was hard. I'm fucking sleepy too, dude. But my bad. What's up?
Yeah, that's what, because a lot of us, you advise, most of the audience that are watching, to move out or to travel the world, right? But the biggest fear that we have is how do we communicate and how do we survive without like how do you have enough money to rent a place, because for us we've been so accustomed to realizing that where everything's hyperinflated, in terms of prices, that we just assume that hyperinflation is everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I wouldn't recommend going to Germany first because Germany is pretty much, unless you had a job lined up there. Some countries are the same, if not more expensive than America, because they're using, or I'd say don't even go to the UK yet. UK ran me up out of there. Unless you had a job there and but where I am in Czech Republic, man, you gonna find it's different over here. In the US, you gotta speak English. You gotta speak in the Americas, you gotta speak their language. South America, you gotta speak their language. In North America, you gotta speak our language, for the most part. And if you don't speak our language, there's something's wrong with you. Whereas over here, they value that flexible, they value your language because it's different. If that makes sense. So like with you communicating, you're always going to find somebody, especially since you speak English, you're going to find somebody who's at least willing to try to work with you. And then once they hear you from America, you done made that next higher up, perspective. Now, when it comes to money, out in California, like it's going to be hard to save money out there. So like you going to have a hard, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. You're going to have a hard time, with that. I can't even lie. I can't even come up with something to make it sound pretty. It's gonna be rough. But they got hostels. We got 2 minutes left, man. I don't want to cut you off, but they got hostels and shit. You can do it. You can totally do it. Get a job at like a little call center or something starting out, and you'd be all right in Prague for sure. Like you here you earn enough at a call center to pay to afford your own rent. It's not like the U.S. It's not like the U.S. where the job isn't enough to pay your rent. It's not like that in Czech Republic. It's the opposite. Like you will make enough to live on your own.
That's pretty cool.
I tell you what, I'll write you in Patreon more in depth. Probably like tomorrow. I'm gonna tell my girl to remind me tomorrow morning to give you more insight on it. Tomorrow morning, if not tomorrow afternoon. If I don't write you, write me, man, because we got like a minute 50 left. And I don't want. Sometimes it hangs up early, and I hope for those who hung up early, I never hit the hang up button. So like, if it did it Zoom did it, not me.
It's all good. Cause I've been talking for too long anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, it's just pretty much just the curiosity of like just surviving. That was my main question. But you pretty much answered it. If I have any other questions, so just type it on Patreon, and then you can get back to me on it.
Sure. Yeah, I tell you, as soon as we all get off, I'm sure she can hear me now too. She's just right now in the room. She can hear me talking. I'm gonna have her remind me tomorrow morning to give you more information. But I'm gonna let you go for this hang up because I don't want to hang up on you.
Instead of writing on me, you could just make a Patreon video or just like any type of YouTube video. You can just talk. You could just make a video on how you survived here, and that'd be pretty dope. How you got yourself in Czechoslovakia and how you were able to transition your way into living here for multiple years. Sure.
Right on. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, yeah. I'm because it says less than a minute, so I have no idea how much longer we got. So I don't want to hang up on you, man. So I just want to make sure we are on the agreement that we gonna separate.
All right, man.
It was great talking to you.
You too, brother.
Hey, have a good day, man. Bye. Okay, so I have less than a minute left on my Zoom, and I'm getting tired, y'all. It's 11:38 where I am. So for the two of y'all in the waiting room, man, my bad. It just went on too long, man. My bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this because I'm getting ready to pass out. I've been drinking and it's getting late, and I ain't slept well for the last 3 nights in a row now. I'm getting ready to get off here, man. So, hey, thank you for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for the support, likes, views, clicks, everything. Means a lot, man, for real. So I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night, man. Good day, evening, night, wherever you are. And I catch y'all on the flippity flip, like Michael Scott from The Office. I catch y'all. Go Google Michael Scott. Catch you on the flippity flip. And he tried to shoot a basketball.